Exceptional Community Hospital. Your Ardmore Hospital is now open. We're a full-service hospital focused on addressing the healthcare needs of the community. We offer a wide range of care, including on-site labs and radiology services. You can count on friendly and caring staff, experienced physicians, and personalized care plans during a hospital stay or emergency visit. Plus, our streamlined check-in processes keeps your wait to a minimum. Exceptional Community Hospital Ardmore, because someone as exceptional as you deserves our care.
You don't see big banks doing what 1NB does. We're a community bank. We're here to serve the community. We see where we can help people and what they're really doing in their businesses. Our dedication to making sure that our community, where we live, where we work, is successful is a primary purpose of our bank. First National Bank cares about me and my community. I love living in a small community. I'm going to choose a small bank with people that care about the same community that I care about. First National Bank is my community bank.
It's a double district championship matchup on KICM TV on YouTube. Welcome everyone inside the Gary Scott Center. I'm Andrew Dunham, joined alongside Aiden Hale and Cade McCurtain. We are your crew tonight for the district championship match between the Lone Grove Longhorns and the Plainview Indians in Class 4A. This is the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show. With their streamlined check-in process, your wait time is shorter than traditional hospital settings. Exceptional Community Hospital, where someone as exceptional as you deserves our care. We are inside the Gary Scott Center, as I said, for the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show, and I'm being joined by a very special guest to kick us off tonight on a championship Saturday night, none other than former Long Grove Girls head coach, now current athletic director, longtime head coach in the business, Mr. Sam Hale.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
Absolutely, it's always a great opportunity to get you on. You got on with us during football season, and of course, in the past, you've been on some broadcasts, and you're so very gracious towards us, getting our setup right. You got us some food up here, and we're ready.
Absolutely,
fueled up and ready to go.
I want to treat you guys right. Y'all do a good job.
Absolutely, championship Saturday night, as I said, for districts, Long Grove and Plainview. This is the third time this season that both these teams will meet, both girls and boys. Just kind of give your thoughts about both teams and how they'll match up tonight, starting off with the girls.
Just a lot of familiarity between the teams. Playing someone that many times. I mean, people always say, well, it's hard to beat a team once, twice, three times, something like that. But, we're pretty familiar with what they're going to do. They're familiar with what we're going to do. We just played here last Saturday night. Should be an entertaining game. Last week it was 68-60. A little more defensive the first time we played them, but girls I think are healthy now, looking fresh and everything like that. So looking forward to a good matchup between both teams.
Since the 2021-22 season, both of these teams have split, so usually, back before then, they just played one time, and it was kind of towards the end of the year. I know you were a part of the rivalry as a head coach. Kind of put the viewer in your shoes. You're a head coach of this rivalry. Just kind of give a sense on what it's like to coach in a rivalry like this, where both teams are just, really 5 miles apart. That's the name of the rivalry, 5 Mile Feud.
For me, coming in from, outside, not having grown up in Long Grove, Plainview area, for me, we always just try to make it just another game, honestly. I didn't want to put any more importance into this game than I did, Bing or Marietta or whoever we played. But for the kids, they grow up around each other and have interactions and everything like that. So definitely can see it being something that's a little bit more to prove, kind of like a sibling rivalry almost to a degree. So. And then to meet in the playoffs like this, we've met in the regional. I think the girls played them last year, Plainview. Prior to that, it's been a long time since being in a district together. So being this close with the playoffs being what they are, and just you get on the right roll at the right time, and state tournament around the corner, man, it's a big game. It is a big game for sure.
Getting into playoff stipulations, because once again, Long Grove will host a regional. Mm-hmm. There will be the main site. Douglas is the sub-site, correct?
No,
sub-site is Long Grove.
Long Grove.
Douglas is the main site as well. You got to coach your team in a district championship, and of course, if you win, you get put in the winner's bracket. But if you lose, you get put in the consolation bracket. Whenever you were coaching in these district championships, was it ever in the back of your mind on, I wonder what the game the winner of our game is going, and you kind of coach that game. Do you ever kind of think about those games in the back of your mind while you're coaching your game, or are you taking it one game at a time?
No, just always took it one game at a time. I mean, you start looking ahead, then you kind of forget the one that's in front of you. So we always try to just play one game at a time and not look too far ahead down the line. And we felt if we could do that and get our teams in the right mode, then that would take care of itself from there. But yeah, I know some, maybe sometimes the kids do, and a lot of times you got to kind of focus them into, hey, we've got to do the here and now, before we can look ahead at anything else.
Absolutely. Talking to Sam Hill, former girls head coach for Long Grove basketball, longtime high school girls basketball coach and boys, now Long Grove athletic director here. Last night 3A boys and girls got after it. Tonight it's 4A. Ranked teams usually have an advantage in these district championship games. Last night there were 18 teams that were ranked that played in a district championship. I'm just looking at 3A girls. Those teams went 18-0.
Yeah,
ranked.
Yeah.
So last night, and of course you had some games like last night, like Dixon boys who have been on a roll. They won last night big. That's Dixon boys. I'm thinking of. You've coached in 2 district championship games here at Long Grove, and you're 2-0. What usually was your message to your team before heading out for a district championship?
Just we've put all the work in and know exactly how we want to approach this game. If they have something that they're going to do, we can counter it. We know how to counter it. Don't get too high, but don't get too low. Just kind of stay even keeled with what we're going to do and try to follow the game plan more than anything else. Was always what our message was. And like I said a while ago, just we're thinking about the here and now. Let's look at right now what's in front of us and the opportunity we've got, and then once we do that, then we'll take that next step moving forward.
Still 40 minutes until tip. Thank you so much for joining us here on the pregame show. We love your insight, and we appreciate your help. And, of course, I know you're busy on nights like tonight where you got 2 high school games going on. I know you'll be busy next week as well with a multitude of high school teams coming in for the regionals. But we will be here, and we will be watching, and we'll be rooting for a good game tonight.
Shoot, yeah. You guys need anything, let us know. We appreciate y'all being here.
Absolutely. With an on-site lab and radiology suite, Exceptional Community Hospital has the resources to provide fast, reliable care when you need it most. Exceptional Community Hospital will continue after this break, and we will bring in Aiden Hale. He's our color analyst tonight. He did a nice job doing his homework, and he's going to talk a little bit more about these matchups, both boys and girls, here on KICM TV on YouTube. We'll be back after this break.
Exceptional Community Hospital. Your Ardmore Hospital is now open. We're a full-service hospital focused on addressing the healthcare needs of the community. We offer a wide range of care, including on-site labs and radiology services. You can count on friendly and caring staff, experienced physicians, and personalized care plans during a hospital stay or emergency visit. Plus, our streamlined check-in processes keeps your wait to a minimum. Exceptional Community Hospital Ardmore, because someone as exceptional as you deserves our care.
You don't see big banks doing what 1NB does. We're a community bank. We're here to serve the community. We see where we can help people and what they're really doing in their businesses. Our dedication to making sure that our community, where we live, where we work, is successful is a primary purpose of our bank. First National Bank cares about me and my community. I love living in a small community. I'm going to choose a small bank with people that care about the same community that I care about. First National Bank is my community bank.
It's the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show here on YouTube, powered by KICM TV. Andrew Dunham, Aiden Hill, Cade McCurtain getting you set for district championship matchup. Still got about 38 minutes left. Plainview Indians just arrived. They're out on the left side of your camera screen warming up as Cade will pan the camera over to the left. Long Grove girls have been out for about an hour now, and we're being joined right now by Aiden Hill, who's going to be our color analyst for the evening. We got the band back together. We got Cade McCurtain up here coordinating your camera right here on YouTube on KICM TV. First off, welcome back into the booth, Aiden. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It kind of feels like kind of weird, being here again. Obviously I haven't done this in, God knows. How long has it been?
It's been a couple years, man. It's been a couple
really?
years. I can think of the last time. I can think of what was it, Class A2 area tournament.
Wow.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
At Medill. I know you remember that, Cade. You're sitting to my left.
That was so fun.
It was very fun. That was a good batch of games. We had Caddo, Wright City, Rattan, Empire, all those different teams, both boys and girls. Made it for some fun basketball. And who said they can't play basketball in Class A? But this is 4A basketball.
This is 4A
This is a
basketball.
couple of levels up, but we got two teams tonight. Both teams capable of winning the game, but fortunately for the Long Grove Longhorns side, they're 2-0 on the season against the Plainview Indians, looking to make it 3-0 in this district championship game tonight, championship Saturday night for head coach Jesse Buck. Aiden, you did extensive homework on both of these games, both girls and boys. First, kind of tell me about the girls' side for the Long Grove Longhorns. What do you think is the biggest advantage for this team tonight?
Well, obviously, it's got to be within their three seniors, within Presley Hunt, Rayana White, and also keep in mind with Sadie Hawker-Smith, both leaders on this team, both can make impact in a bunch of ways. And like I said, that's the one thing they have over the Lady Indians is that they have experience. They've had, moments where this team is really good looking and a lot of times, and obviously that carries a lot throughout the playoffs, as you know, having a lot of experience with compared to at least the Lady Indians, who relatively this is a younger squad. They've graduated a lot throughout these 2-year spans. So that's kind of the one advantage I see within this girls game. And like I said, I think it's going to be an interesting match. But like my dad said, it is hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. So that is one thing is you could beat us 2 times, but when it matters the most, can you beat us a 3rd time? So that's the thing the Lady Longhorns are going to have to face tonight is beating a good team twice or 3 times.
You can kind of compare it to almost an extended NBA playoff series. This is the 3rd time they will play. I doubt we're going to see it a 4th time, but it is rare to play a team 3 times in a season. It's almost getting to a point where it's almost rare to play a team twice, but these two teams being so far apart, they have now played a series, a home and home. Like I said in the beginning, it's been happening since 2022. And, Long Grove, fortunately, and for head coach Jesse Buck, who is now in his 2nd year as the head coach of the Long Grove Lady Longhorns, he's beaten this team 5 times now, 5-0 against them as the girls' head coach. But we'll get more into the coaching matchups. Of course, Grant Gash on the other side, a terrific head coach for Plainview, but like you said, dealing with a younger roster than usual. He's now in his 4th year, and he's having to deal with some of those pains of maybe mentally trying to get a team ready. A team that doesn't have experience, but this is a Plainview team that has balanced scoring. And then on the other side, as you said, Aiden, there's veterans on this team. It starts with Brianna White. It starts with Presley Hunt, the 3 seniors you named. And it's really going to be an interesting matchup. And contrasting these two teams is really interesting just based off experience alone.
Yeah, and that's one thing that, it's funny to say, 2 years ago we were looking at this Long Grove Longhorn team thinking, man, the inexperience is showing in a lot of times where the youthfulness is playing a factor. But now one of the factors that this team has is that they have the experience. And I think even going through the postseason where we've seen a lot of improvements over the years to now where a lot of these girls are seniors or juniors and they're taking the right steps into the right direction to make that playoff push. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I would not count out the Lady Indians quite yet. Like I said, that's the one thing about some of these inexperienced teams is that they don't know any better what to do. So they might give it a good shot out here for the 3rd game.
Here on the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show, Andrew Dunham, Aiden Hill, Cade McCurtain. With their streamlined check-in process, your wait time is shorter than traditional hospital settings. Exceptional Community Hospital, where someone as exceptional as you deserves our care. We thank you very much for joining us tonight. We encourage you to stick around for both games. Of course, it's a double-dip district championship Saturday night on KICM TV. Of course, free on YouTube. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back later on. Still 32 minutes left until tip-off of our first game. Long Grove Lady Longhorns hosting the Plainview Lady Indians for the district championship.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory wants you to know that planning ahead gives you the opportunity to select merchandise and services at today's prices and relieves your loved ones of making hasty decisions later. Harvey Douglas is the only funeral home in Ardmore offering 4 family meeting rooms with unique backdrops to personalize your experience. Their caring staff can help arrange every aspect of a beautiful funeral. Before making any decisions, visit Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory in their new facility at 2118 South Commerce in Ardmore.
Back here on the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show. Exceptional Community Hospital is your sponsor for the pregame show and also injury timeouts. But hey, are you hungry? Yeah. I'm not real hungry right now. I think we got some pizza brought in by Sam Hill, but with a mouth-watering menu and wall-to-wall TVs, the station in Ardmore is your spot for pro, college, and even your local high school sports teams like the Plainview Indians and the Long Grove Longhorns. It's located 2 blocks east of the Carter County Courthouse on Mill Street, open 7 days a week. The station where every game is played on home turf. Lady Longhorns have thrived, I should say, on home turf, or home court, you should say. Right here, 16-8 with an overall record of, 16-8 is their overall record, ranked 18th in Class 4A. They're warming up, a tick under 30 minutes to go. It's going to be Grant Gash versus Jesse Buck, 2 coaches that have some experience on both sides, a little younger on the age side as well, especially Grant Gash. But getting ready for tonight's matchup, Aiden and I were comparing and contrasting these teams, but the biggest contrast we had was the experience. And we go with the balanced scoring of the Plainview Lady Indians, who are led by senior number 22, Abby Cheney. For the other side, Long Grove Longhorns led by Rayana White, who I think has probably been in high school for about 8 years now. And I only mean that with respect, because the second she stepped on the court wearing a Lady Longhorn uniform, she made impact.
Yeah, she has, and in a big way. And like I said, from the growth from where she has taken tremendous steps. Even when she was a freshman, you could see so much potential in her, to now as a senior. She's been in here for a while, it seems to all of us. So, and Sadie too as well.
You mentioned during the break Presley Hunt, Sadie Hockersmith, both 1,000 point scorers, and to put a cherry on top of that statistic, Sadie Hockersmith 500 rebounds. So you kind of get a picture on how she's going to operate on the floor. She's going to mainly work in the paint. She thrives off those second chance points, and when you get a lot of misses on offense and you have a center/forward who can work in the perimeter or work in the paint and put up those easy shots for 2, it really helps out the team. Yeah,
and her finding her place, it seems like where Sadie puts herself on the court, she's always finding a way to find herself getting the basketball, whether that's underneath the basket, whether that's outside or in. She's always finding a way to get it back and get that second chance opportunity. And that's kind of what's made this team so effective, is with her presence in the inside, and especially the outside with Rayana White and Presley Hunt as well.
Stepped in as a freshman and sophomore, played with the likes of Emery Adams, who was a fantastic player for the Long Grove Lady Longhorns, and really just kind of knew her role in the beginning and got the experience, and now she's one of the leaders of this team. And as they look to make a playoff push, they will need her services along with Hunt and White. White 2-ball dribbling close to midcourt. Really, you kind of see in the middle of your screen not a lot of bodies on that Plainview Lady Indian roster. And I'm looking at 9 players on the roster and a lot on the Long Grove Lady Longhorns side. So we'll see if that comes into play. But like we said, the Lady Indians are very reliable, and they have been reliable for head coach Grant Gash over the last 2 years, as he's still kind of in a rebuilding mode after taking over a 17-win team from his first year. This will be his 4th year overall, and for Gash, this will be his 101st career head coaching opportunity for the Plainview Indians, a 55-45 overall record. But we talked about that 17-win team that he took over, had 3 returning starters to the likes of J.C. Hammond and Emily Hedger, 2 great ball players that led them to the area tournament, back-to-back area tournament appearances in those first 2 years, but kind of give a sense of what it's like. I know that you are still young in your potentially head coaching career, but what is the first step to you into trying to instill a mentality with a team who doesn't have a lot of experience but can still learn and grow every day? How do you go about that?
I feel like the one way to kind of go about that, especially as a young coach, with a young team, is try to understand them. Know that they're trying to figure out things you're still trying to figure out into your young career. Play off that as much as you can, but also building relationships, having that bond with your team is a big way, especially being so young. Sometimes it can be scary. I know as a freshman I was scared playing in my first varsity game with a bunch of other types of sophomores and freshmen as well, but that was one of the best things about when we were playing, Andy, is that we didn't know any better, it seemed. We were just out there having fun, and I think that's kind of the way Plainview should go about it, is have fun. Don't got to have this unnecessary pressure about it. And the one thing about Gash is that he is a good coach. He's had good teams, and he's kind of had that system instilled in him that, he could still coach anybody no matter what the grade level or the experience is as well.
Gash himself still very young and experienced at the head coaching level, but you mentioned the balance between having fun and being serious. That's kind of been the mantra of the offseason for these Plainview Indians. Gash says he has a tight-knit group. They have the balance of let's have fun on the basketball court while we're practicing, but when it's time to go, it's time to go. And I think that's what they've really mastered the most, I think. And, the record is, 4-14 overall record. That's not what you want to see from the Plainview Lady Indians, but you still have a chance to make some noise, get a win in district play, and more importantly, propel yourself into the regional tournament, and more importantly, the winners tournament. And the main achievement tonight for both teams, both high schools, is you want to get to Tuesday night. That's the winners night.
Yep.
Thursday night is the consolation bracket, and of course those games, since this is the sub-site, the games will be played right here in Lone Grove, Oklahoma. But this has been the continuation of the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show. We're going to get into the boys matchup, even though it's still a little early. We'll get into it here on KICM TV on YouTube. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us and who will join us tonight. Andy Dunham, Aiden Hale, Cade McCurtain. With their streamlined check-in process, your wait time is shorter than traditional hospital settings. Exceptional Community Hospital, where someone as exceptional as you deserves our care. We'll be back after these words.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory wants you to know that planning ahead gives you the opportunity to select merchandise and services at today's prices and relieves your loved ones of making hasty decisions later. Harvey Douglas is the only funeral home in Ardmore offering 4 family meeting rooms with unique backdrops to personalize your experience. Their caring staff can help arrange every aspect of a beautiful funeral. Before making any decisions, visit Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory in their new facility at 2118 South Commerce in Ardmore.
Back here on the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show, Andrew Dunham, Aiden Hale, and Cade McCurtain coordinating your camera on YouTube, powered by KICM TV, a district championship doubleheader inside beautiful Gary Scott Center. It's good to be back in a place where Aiden Hale used to play. Of course, we met with Sam Hill at the beginning of the broadcast on the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show. And with an on-site lab and radiology suite, Exceptional Community Hospital has the resources to provide fast, reliable care when you need it most. Exceptional Community Hospital. Dipping into this boys matchup. Go ahead.
You missed somebody in that list. You know, you mentioned my name. You mentioned my dad's name, but
I said Kate, didn't I?
you missed your name, buddy.
Oh, my name now. who cares about me?
Oh,
No,
come on, man. Stop it.
I'm a lost art.
Oh,
I'm a lost
brother,
art.
come on.
No, but all seriousness, speaking of boys basketball, getting into this matchup, I know it's still a little early. They will immediately tip off following the girls matchup, but this is an interesting game because these are two teams that have obviously played twice like the girls, but you know, it's two teams we like to think we know these teams. We like to think we've figured out a team like the Lone Grove Longhorns, but is it safe to say we still really don't know what this team is?
Oh, we really don't. I feel like there's still something in them that I think can come out, especially now with the postseason. Your best basketball should be now. You know, that's what they always say. So, yeah, in a way, I think there's something missing, you know, and maybe they haven't shown it yet. Maybe tonight's the night.
Still haven't found an identity. Of course, no team has their identity found out in March, but like you said, you'd like to still play your best basketball, and unfortunately, it's been the opposite for the Plainview Indians. They snapped a 7-game losing streak on the game before the season finale. Of course, their season finale was here on Valentine's Day right here in this building at the Gary Scott Center, but it's been a tough road ahead for Deion Stevenson and the Plainview Indians. Of course, Coach Stevenson in his second tenure, in his fourth year in his second tenure as the head coach of the Plainview Indians. And, you know, like we said with head coach Grant Gash, the same can be said with Deion Stevenson, as he is dealing with a pretty youthful roster, you could say.
Yeah, it is. I mean, relatively where Plainview is, sometimes you can see some really older groups, sometimes younger groups, but I feel like they kind of meet themselves in the middle with, they have the players, they have some of the experience, but it's really a young roster for both the boys and girls this year, relatively, you know. And the good thing about them, though, is that both teams do have talent on all sides of the court. So that is the one positive they are looking is into the future. But right now this season, obviously, there is a lot of youthfulness.
Switching gears very quickly, that was a great breakdown of the Plainview Indians. Of course, we'll see them later on tonight immediately following this game. Tip-off slated for around 7:30. For the Lone Grove Longhorns and for Stephen Hunt, first-year man, what is to you, because I know you've done extensive homework on the Lone Grove Longhorns, what do you think is the biggest key for that team?
I feel like the biggest key for this team is kind of finding out who your guys are going to be. Like you said, you don't know when you're going to play your best basketball, but if you're going to play, it's got to be now. And the one thing I feel like they got to do is maximize scoring from both their top two scorers in Colt Harris and Elijah Mims. I feel like they're going to be the key vocal points during this game that's going to have to make strides, especially Plainview knowing that they're going to be scoring. And another thing I feel like they got to do is limit turnovers. You could say that about any team, right? You got to limit the turnovers. You got to have a lot more possessions than the other team. That's kind of the big factor with this Lone Grove team is sometimes they find themselves turning the ball over quite a bit of times and just playing a little reckless, if you will. And then another thing is to kind of have the bench presence. You know, when you're on the bench, you don't think of it as much as important as being a starter on the court. But when you get in the game, it's like you got to keep that same energy. You got to keep the same momentum going and stuff. So having a great bench presence, and I know there's going to be 4 guys that are going to be rotating through that bench. That are going to be some key presence to the game. But coming off the bench is going to be important, especially for the Longhorns tonight.
I've always said one of the hardest things to do in basketball is be a sixth man.
It is.
You're the first person off the bench. You're coming in cold. You got to immediately match the flow, match the rhythm. You got to be on point with the 4 other teammates that are on the floor. If you make that first substitution, you step up to the scores table, you check in, you got to at some point immediately make impact, because not only are you fresh legs, but you got to be able to be coherent with your teammates on the floor. And I know you had that position at one point. I know I did. it's an important position, and especially with two teams like these, like with the Long Grove Longhorns. And one thing Stephen Hunt likes, and he will pound his chest about it, is the strength in numbers. He believes he has 8, 9, 10 guys who can go out there and play and make impact at a time.
It feels like that bench got longer when we were playing. You know, they have a tremendous amount of players on that bench, and like I said, I think that is going to be one of the more important things that you got to watch for this game is that bench presence. And like you said, it is kind of undervalued, if you will. You don't really think of it as much of an importance towards the game, but in all reality, it's one of the more important aspects, especially for Lone Grove's game, where you need to keep subs coming in and out to rest some guys. So I think that is going to be a big factor into this game.
Just under 15.5 minutes until tip-off of the girls' matchup. Lady Horns versus Lady Indians. That'll be the first matchup, and then immediately following will be the boys' matchup. We just got done breaking down the boys. That's our final segment here on the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show. Thank you so much for joining us here inside the Gary Scott Center. Andy Dunham, Aiden Hill, of course, and Cade McCurtain will be coordinating your camera tonight. Doing a great job, as always. Right here, playoff basketball, district championship Saturday night. Doesn't get much better than this, huh?
Woo-hoo. I'm excited.
Absolutely, absolutely. You got to participate in 4 district championships as a player, some at home, some on the road. It really doesn't get much better than this, because really one game can dictate the rest of your season. You fall in the winner's bracket, you feel good about yourself, but if you lose this game, you end up in the consolation bracket, and you're kind of on your heels for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's a tough sled if
You've
you
been
lose.
in both situations, of course. I have as well.
It's a tough sled to go through, but, you know, that's the beauty of basketball. And especially it helps for both Lone Grove teams that are going to be playing a home game for a district championship. You don't get to see that quite often a lot, but when you do have it, it's nice. It's nice.
We'll step aside, take a long, extensive break. We'll be back to get you set for tip-off of the girls' matchup. This concludes the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show here on KICM TV on YouTube with an average wait time of just 15 minutes, about what time it's going to be till we tip off. Exceptional Community Hospital provides fast, reliable care when it matters most. Exceptional Community Hospital, where someone as exceptional as Aiden Hill deserves your care. We'll be back after these words here on KICM TV.
Exceptional Community Hospital. Your Ardmore Hospital is now open. We're a full-service hospital focused on addressing the healthcare needs of the community. We offer a wide range of care, including on-site labs and radiology services. You can count on friendly and caring staff, experienced physicians, and personalized care plans during a hospital stay or emergency visit. Plus, our streamlined check-in processes keeps your wait to a minimum. Exceptional Community Hospital Ardmore, because someone as exceptional as you deserves our care.
You don't see big banks doing what 1NB does. We're a community bank. We're here to serve the community. We see where we can help people and what they're really doing in their businesses. Our dedication to making sure that our community, where we live, where we work, is successful is a primary purpose of our bank. First National Bank cares about me and my community. I love living in a small community. I'm going to choose a small bank with people that care about the same community that I care about. First National Bank is my community bank.
Athletic injuries are essentially orthopedic injuries with sports-specific components. At Excel Therapy, our goal is for the athlete to return to the sport quickly. Excel Therapy can assist in speeding up recovery following surgery by improving range of motion, strength, and flexibility. At Excel Therapy, we excel at sports medicine. We excel at physical therapy. We excel at helping you excel. With clinics in Ardmore and Durant, our team excels at orthopedic injury recovery and sports medicine. Find us at exceltherapyok.com.
PayMe Checking is the #1 debit card at Communication Federal. With good reason, because you earn real money rewards with your Visa debit card. With Communication Federal, you can get a fresh, shiny new debit card at the branch same day, so you can get out there and do your thing and get rewards for doing it. Open your PayMe checking account online at comfedcu.org or at any branch in just a few minutes. PayMe Checking, only from Communication Federal Credit Union.
Every community that we're involved in, we make local investments, whether that's time, that's money, or that's the resources of the bank. All of our employees are engaged in the communities that they serve. Our local booster clubs, our football clubs, our school programs. We invest our time and resources by volunteering within the schools. Lastly, our business model is to financially support the communities, loaning out local dollars. We're able to build up our communities that we serve. First National Bank is my community bank.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store. Every kind of feed and seed that you need. Pet stuff to livestock supplies, a farm and ranch, we're the guys. For any kind of job, we help you do it right. Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store.
Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery has been caring for the people of Southern Oklahoma for over 40 years. As board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgeons, Dr. Wallace and Dr. Sutherland have the highest level of expertise in the removal of wisdom teeth, placement of dental implants, facial injuries, corrective jaw surgery, jaw pain, and facial cosmetic surgery. By continually learning innovative techniques and utilizing the most up-to-date technology, they are able to provide world-class oral and facial surgery right here in Southern Oklahoma. To discuss your oral or facial surgical needs, call the experts at Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery.
Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store. Every kind of feed and seed that you need. Pet stuff to livestock supplies, a farm and ranch, we're the guys. For any kind of job, we help you do it right. Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store.
Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery has been caring for the people of Southern Oklahoma for over 40 years. As board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgeons, Dr. Wallace and Dr. Sutherland have the highest level of expertise in the removal of wisdom teeth, placement of dental implants, facial injuries, corrective jaw surgery, jaw pain, and facial cosmetic surgery. By continually learning innovative techniques and utilizing the most up-to-date technology, they are able to provide world-class oral and facial surgery right here in Southern Oklahoma. To discuss your oral or facial surgical needs, call the experts at Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery.
We welcome you inside Gary Scott Center, getting you set for the tip-off of the girls matchup to bring back an old segment, which we will get to after the national anthem and the State of Oklahoma song. It's good to be here on a Saturday night inside the Gary Scott Center. Long Grove Longhorns and the Plainview Indians. First, we will see the Lady Longhorns and Lady Indians get after it in a 5-mile feud playoff edition. Both the girls met last year. It was the Lady Longhorns that actually sent the Lady Indians packing in the regional tournament round. Lady Indians looking to get some revenge, not only for last year, but for this year as well, as they are 0-2 against Jesse Buck's squad in the year of 2025 and 2026.
Welcome to the Gary Scott Center at Long Grove High School for tonight's 4A Area 2 district matchup between the Plainview Lady Indians and the Long Grove Lady Longhorns. At this time, would you please stand for the playing of the national anthem?
Nice job by Cade, showing off our nation's colors, getting honored on a beautiful and real chilly Saturday night in southern Oklahoma. We'll first meet the Plainview Indians, led by Grant Gash.
First up, a sophomore, number 1, Hadley Camus. A junior, number 2, Henry Martin. A sophomore, number 3, Chloe Conan. A junior, number 4, Abby Brown. And a senior, number 22, Abby King. The Lady Indians were coached by head coach Greg Gash, assisted by Casey Sizemore and Alan Parham.
We'll meet the Lone Grove Lady Longhorns, led by Jesse Buck.
And now, the starters for the home team, Lone Grove Lady Longhorns. First up, a junior, number 1, Gracie Lewis. Senior, number 14, Natalie Williamson. Senior, number 15, Rihanna White. Senior, number 22, Kristen Fox. And senior, number 23, Sadie Hawkinsmith. The Lady Longhorns are coached by head coach Jesse Buck, assisted by Casey Nellis and Josh Mitchell.
So we meet the starting 5, and let's relay them to you here on a Saturday night. Starting off with the visitors on the scoreboard, the Plainview Lady Indians, who are once again led by Grant Gash, assisted by Stacy Sizemore and Allie Parham. It's number 22, Abby Cheney, who's the lone senior for the Lady Indians, along with number 1, Hadley Camus, number 2, Camry Martin, number 3, Chloe Conan, and number 4, Allie Brown. And for the Long Grove Lady Longhorns led by second-year man Jesse Buck. It's number 1, Gracie Lewis. Number 14, Callie Williamson. Number 15, Rayana White. Number 22, Presley Hunt. Number 23, Sadie Hockersmith. It was Cheney and Hockersmith at midcourt. We're underway for district championship Saturday night, and the tip is won by the Plainview Lady Indians. And it's Cheney on the right wing. Inside, Chloe Conan put up the shot, but it's rejected inside Rayana White.
And those are going to be plays for the Lady Indians that they're going to still want to have, is those open looks. Moving the ball is going to be important for this game. Trying to isolate as much as you can. Try to move the Longhorns as best as you can.
Another ball, it's tapped out of bounds, so some scrappy defense being shown by the Lady Longhorns. Presley Hunt knocks it out of bounds. It stays with the Lady Indians. Side out to Cheney, who I mentioned in the opener, the lone senior. That's Allie Brown, number 4, another block. Horns have 2 blocks already on defense. Here's their first offensive possession, led by number 15, Rayana White. Wing 3, off the back iron, too strong. Presley Hunt goes for the rebound. It's out of bounds. Williamson misses, and we're 0-0. 7:30 left in the first quarter. Full court press shown by the Lady Longhorns. Indians need help. That's Camus. They get it across. Brown ahead. Nice pass. Martin to no. Offensive rebound blocked away by, or excuse me, it was Cheney who got the offensive rebound, and a foul by Lewis. That's Gracie Lewis, number 1.
And that's going to be an important game for Cheney. Like you said, she is the lone senior on this team, but she is the best player on this team with her size and capabilities around the rim.
Even though Cheney, who knocks in the first free throw, and they're on the board, 1-0 Plainview. Even though Cheney is the lone senior, they have 4 returning starters for head coach Grant Gash, who's coaching his 101st career game at Plainview, a 55-45 overall record. Cheney goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Lady Indians, who lost by 8 points on Valentine's Day last weekend, and really turned up the pressure, especially in the second half when they were down by 20 at the intermission break. They come out of the third period and outscore the Lady Horns 16-8. Long rainbow 3, no good by Hunt, and a rebound controlled by Martin. Quickly ahead, bad pass intercepted by Hunt, who missed the shot on the last possession. Misses that layup inside. Williamson will get the offensive rebound, and free throws for the Lady Horns.
And
Go ahead.
And that's 2 possessions right there, Andy, where the Lady Longhorns have had 2 3-point attempts with kind of that pesky zone the Lady Indians are going to play. But one thing Lady Indians got to do is they got to block out. Find a jersey as best as you can. And that's the second turnover for them as well right there. You got to limit turnovers as best you can, especially with this defense that the Longhorns have.
Williamson, like Cheney, goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Excuse me, that was Williamson. 2-all. Lady Indians break the press, and Martin smoked the layup. And a rebound the other way, Sadie Hockersmith. She does a lot of that. Notched 500 career rebounds a couple of weeks ago for her high school career to go along with 1,000 points. Not the only one on the team with 1,000 career points. Presley Hunt does as well. Speaking of, that's Hunt with a 3 in the corner. Bottom, and it's 5-2 Lady Horns.
There's another steal right there.
That's Williamson who got the steal, tried to initiate contact, couldn't get the whistle. That's Cheney the other way in the corner, tries to get it out to Martin for 3. It's up, too strong, follows her own miss, does a nice job of it, tries to throw it out of bounds, and it's deflected off of Hunt.
You got to find where 22 is, especially beyond the arc. Like you said, you don't get 1,000 points for not being a good scorer. You got to have some capabilities, and right there, Hunt wide open in the corner.
Camus dribbles the ball off the side out and is fouled by Gracie Lewis. Camus wearing that protective mask on her face, wearing the number 1. It's the foul call, and we have our first substitution of the night. Maggie Nance. It's a double dribble called. It's against Allie Brown and the Lady Indians, and that's a turnover. 5-2 in favor of the Lady Horns. 5:45 left in this first quarter.
And 4 turnovers so far for the Lady Indians already in the first quarter. That's something that Coach Gash is going to have to wonder about if his team can protect the ball as best they can and limit. There's another turnover right there.
White threw it away to Cheney. Good instincts on the pass from the senior, wearing number 22 in red. There's another foul. Officials putting some air in the whistle now as we've kind of stopped. 5:29 left in the first quarter. 5-2 the score in favor of the Lady Longhorns. Half-court pressure from the newly instated Nance. We talked about in the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show. Dive for the loose ball. It's on the ground, picked up by the Lady Horns, but stolen back by Brown, and there's a foul. A jump ball is called. We talked about in the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show how important the sixth man is coming off the bench. You gotta match the flow. Well, so far the Lady Horns have been disruptive on defense, and that's what Nance did at the top.
Yeah,
trying to pressure Brown.
And that's one thing that for Coach Buck is you got to have players coming off the bench like that, and right there Nance, kind of a pest in the top, trying to make for a nightmare for the Lady Indians to get the ball across, and right there she does her job correctly and forces a turnover.
Williamson inside to Nance, hit that paint. Cheney has been so good on defense early for the Indians, just been a pest inside.
And that's how you got to be with them. And like you said, you're going to give up a lot of the shots from outside the arc, which we have seen so far from the Lady Longhorns on all their shots coming from beyond the arc. But you don't want any inside, and that's what she's doing right now.
Nance relieved Lewis for the Lady Horns. Lady Indians have not made a substitution yet. Yeah, actually they just did. And there's a whistle and a turnover. Little friendly fire there as there was a collision at the top of the key. Thankfully, both Lady Indians walked up unharmed. Maggie Nance gets a short stint. She's out. And in is number 24, Jaden Cronley. Cronley catches the ball. Now they'll work it around Williamson and White. A ball screen. That is a 3 by Williamson. That is up, and she got a fortuitous bounce. 8-2. Lady Longhorns ahead. Lady Indians break the press. It's been a track meet so far, and a steal by Williamson.
And this is the group for Lone Grove. They got 4 shooters that can all shoot from beyond the arc.
There's one. Hunt, she's got 1 already. She's got 2. 11-2, and a timeout on the floor by Grant Gash. Early offense from the perimeter for the Lady Horns. They lead by 9 after this break on KICM TV.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
Back here on KICM TV, Andrew Dunham, Aiden Hale, Cade McCurtain, 3-man crew on site for the district championship match between the Lady Longhorns and the Lady Indians. If you're keeping score at home, it's 11-2 so far. 3 3-point makes for the Lady Longhorns. 1 from Callie Williamson, 2 from Presley Hunt that initiated that timeout from Grant Gash. Still showing pressure. It's Cheney, puts up the long 2. That's no good. Cronley there for the rebound. Check that. That's Hockersmith with the rebound. Fighting for the loose ball. Possession arrow goes to the Lady Horns. 11-2 is your score.
And if the Lady Indians right there on the inbounds can get it off early to other teammates, find that outlet, they got a girl wide open on the backside that could get easy layups right there. But like I said, the Lady Longhorns are making it a nightmare for them to even get it across.
Hunt well beyond the 3-point line, but you have to guard her out there because she will shoot it from out there. Already 2 3-point makes. Williamson penetrates. Hockersmith inside. Does not look at the rim, instead kicks out. Cronley. Now it's White on the other side. Puts up the shot. A runner in the lane. Good defense by the Lady Indians, but an offensive rebound from Hockersmith. That is one thing she does best. Second chance points. That's another strength of the Lady Horns. Exhibit A right there, 13-2. Ball knocked out of bounds. Grant Gash wanted a foul on the steal attempt by the Lady Longhorns. It's knocked out of bounds. It stays with Plainview.
And for Lone Grove, especially with Cronley, don't think she can be a shooter as well. They got 4 girls on the court right now with Cronley, Williamson, Hunt, and White that can all shoot it from beyond the arc. And right there, having Sadie Hawkersmith getting the boards and trying to put up second chance opportunities, it's going to be huge for this offense to flourish.
Side out for the Lady Longhorns. I like that word, flourish. That's what the offense has done so far. 13-2, and the lead by 11. That 3 in and out almost added to the lead. Another offensive rebound. Hawkersmith got it knocked out of her hands, picks it back up, puts it up, and there's a foul. It should be a shooting foul. This will be free throws 3 and 4 attempted by the Lady Longhorns.
It's felt like every possession they've had, it's been a three-pointer, Andy.
They like to shoot the
They
three.
do like to shoot it.
Jesse Buck, a run-and-gun coach, his second season as the head coach of the Lone Grove Lady Longhorns. 3rd overall with the Longhorns. He served double duty last year for both boys and girls. Allie Brown back in for the Lady Indians. 4 returning starters, 5 seniors. The Wilson High School graduate, I'm going to use your word, flourished. He has flourished with this Lady Longhorn squad.
Absolutely.
Ranked 18th in Class 4A. Nice move inside with a 2, and it's missed. Lady Longhorns have it back. Loose ball, picked up, Cheney, series of dribble moves, step through, she traveled. Allie Wood, number 12, is in, a freshman for the Lady Indians. Just the second substitution that Grant Gash has made so far, but they only have 9 players on the roster.
And right now, I think what the Lady Indians are trying to do is trying to run with them is Rayanna White with the 3. But they're
White still scoreless.
But they're trying to go with the run and gun style that Lone Grove is going to like to play.
Out of bounds, blocked by White. Lady Indians still do not have a field goal make. It's 14-2. 2 points came from 2 free throws by Abby Cheney. That was actually the opening points of tonight's contest. Martin catches left wing, guarded by Cronley. Up top to Cheney. He's going to have to initiate some offense. It's the only 2 points for the Lady Indians. Nice pass inside. Cronin with a 2.
And those might be the best kind of place to have, are these little set plays where you're going to have a back door or even a screen by where you're having that backside help. That might be the way for the Lady Indians to get quick buckets there and get some offensive going.
Chloe Conan with a layup. Entry pass knocked out of bounds by Martin. Stays with the Lady Horns, who are up 14-4 with 1:35 left in this first quarter. Inbounding underneath will be Cronley. Jesse Buck calls the set play. Gets to the corner to Hawkersmith, looking to work around. It's Hunt. Catches on that same side of the floor. The Horns looking to reverse the floor. Instead, it's a pass inside to Hawkersmith. Martin was there for the backside help, and it actually hit off Hawkersmith. Here comes Conan. Puts up the layup, and she's got back-to-back buckets. 4 points, Chloe Conan.
Wow.
Williamson, quick trigger 3. You got it. Answers on a mini 4-0 run by the Lady Indians. Here's Cheney inside for 2. Too strong off the glass. Got her own miss. It was taken away by her own teammate. That was Brown. Now tipped up into the air. Lady Horns have numbers if they want it. White. Williamson for a 4th triple. Too strong, but the offensive rebound goes to Hunt, and they'll reset.
They still have a lineup where they could still shoot a lot of shots. They got a lot of time still with 33 seconds left. They can do whatever they want. Even set up a set play here.
Williamson, an early leader with 10 points. That's out of bounds. It was actually lost by Cronley. Maggie Nance will check back in for the Lady Indians. Williamson with 11 points. 3 3-pointers already, go along with a pair of free throws. Presley Hunt has 6 points as well. Every field goal make has came from the perimeter so far for the Lady Longhorns. A rebound off the miss. Rayana White with 7 seconds. Tried to get it ahead to Hockersmith. Nice pass deflected by Brown. Martin puts it up just to beat the buzzer, and it hits off the top of the pole of the backboard. 17-6 is your score after 8 minutes of play at the Gary Scott Center. Lady Longhorns up by 11 after this break.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
We're with you. We're united.
Back inside the Gary Scott Center for district championship action. The Lady Longhorns and Lady Indians meeting for the 3rd time. First time since last season. They met 3 times, 2 in the regular season and once in the regional tournament. This time it's 2 in the regular season, 1 in district championship play. Lady Indians looking to stop the bleeding. 17-6 is the score after 8 minutes. Brown in trouble, has to get it out. She gets it to Camry Martin. Martin drives, tries to go back to Brown, threw it into traffic. Scrum on the court for the ball. Possession arrow goes to the Lady Longhorns. Macy Caldwell, number 10, checking in for Grant Gash's squad. Substitution also made out of the break for the Lady Longhorns, number 3, Kaisha Wilkerson. That is Wilkerson. Takes it from the wing to the top of the key to White. The 17 combined points for Jesse Buck's squad came from 2 players. That's a miss by Nance, offensive rebound by White. Lady Longhorns have been feasting on the offensive glass so far, preferably with Hockersmith. That's one of her strengths. 11 points for Callie Williamson, 6 for Presley Hunt. Here is Hunt. Dribble handoff, Wilkerson. Passes too high for Rayana White. It goes into the stands. A turnover. A minute has gone by, no bucket yet. Andrew Dunham, Aiden Hill, Cade McCurtain coordinating your camera, doing a great job as always. Bringing Cade McCurtain out of retirement to do this game. Camry Martin got left alone, but she doesn't have a dribble. Gets it to Hadley Camus. Camus with a spin pivot. Lost her dribble. Instead, it's Conan inside, who had 4 points. Both buckets were late in that first quarter. White still looking for her first bucket. She's fouled at the rim. There were 4 free throws attempted in this first quarter, 2 by both teams. Callie Williamson opened up the scoring with 2. So did Abby Cheney. White.
every day begins every day.
White, who is so good in the 2 games so far being played. She had 17 3 and 2 and 2 steals in the last time these 2 teams played right in this very building last Saturday. First time they met on January 13th. This is a shot inside by Brown. That's no good. It is off the fingertips of Cheney, trying to save it out of bounds. White led the way with a game-high 10 points the first time these 2 teams met, and it was a balanced attack as Hockersmith had 9, Presley Hunt had 9 as well. Now it's the Indians showing a little bit of pressure. White has to get it across the timeline, does with a bounce pass to Hockersmith. Williamson leads with 11 points. White with 2 Off the glass, no good. And a rebound. Being joined by Sam Hale now, who joined us out of the Texas Community Hospital pregame show. The bank is open on Saturdays. Three-pointer good by Hadley Camus. First three-pointer for Plainview. Now some pressure, 19-9. 10-point game. Largest lead for the Lady Horns has been 12. Excuse me, it's been 13. There's a turnover.
Kind of a bad place to put yourself when you're facing pressure like that. A 1-2-2 is right across half court and down in the corners like that, and they did a good job of trapping her.
So far, the Indians, 5:35 left in the second quarter. They've outscored the Lady Horns 3-2. That's a touchdown pass that's overthrown, incomplete. Lady Longhorn basketball.
Yeah.
Like the idea, though,
good
because
idea.
That's what Plainview has done so far in this game, is run and gun in transition.
Kind of went over the top and everything, and it looks like they're trying to. Sometimes they say if you're trying to pressure somebody, if someone wants to pressure you, pressure them back, and it kind of looks like Plainview's trying to do that. Maybe not speed them up, but just almost a slow down press to get them to turn the ball over a little bit more.
It worked last possession. Williamson feeds Nance, who's covered. Now back to Williamson. Two-man action, and it's the floater on the fly by Kaylee Williamson, 13 points so far in this first half. She's got 13 of the 21 total points, 21-9. Quickly ahead. Cheney, corner three. She can shoot it. Misses it. Rebound by Hunt, and here come the Lady Horns. It's like watching a tennis match so far. Both teams back and forth. Williamson answers again.
These are kind of big when they start falling.
Steal. Give White credit for the steal, but it's Williamson. Instead feeds inside. Hockersmith, she thought about pulling up for three. Instead feeds inside to the post player for the Lady Horns, if you will. That three-pointer by Williamson was her fourth three-pointer of the night so far.
And sometimes playing the way that they are playing, obviously you've got to guard against a three, but then that should start opening up the inside for them. As you seen right there, Sadie was wide open.
Maggie Nance checks out. It's Gracie Lewis who checks back in, who started this game. We're back to the original starting five minus one. Presley Hunt gets a breather for the first time tonight. Cronley stays on the floor. 1 of 2 at the line is Hockersmith. She gets on the board with 1 point. Almost a carry. Almost could have been. Martin drives. Brown outside. Three-pointer from the wing is up and good.
Nice look.
Nice shot by Allie Wood. Freshman enters the game. Second three-point make for Plainview, 25-12. 13-point advantage. Cronley inside, almost lost her footing and the ball. Still was able to put up the shot, missed it. Allie Wood, who made the three on the other end, now gets the rebound and a nice pass ahead and a travel.
It was a good look, good idea right there. You know, when you're splitting the court, always look diagonal on a fast break, secondary break, and just unfortunately for Plainview, they had a travel call.
4:01 left in the game. Conan kind of didn't make up her mind, either put up the shot or make a pass.
Looks like they are doing a triangle and two down here defensively.
Cronley trying to get on the board. She does with a floater in the lane.
Nice attack right there by Jaden.
Now you're starting to see a little bit of a balanced scoring. So it's White who's getting in the books. Of course, Hockersmith and now Cronley. You had 2 Lady Horns combined for the 17 points in that first quarter.
Yeah.
Williamson, who had 11 points. She has 16 now. Martin, a 3. Starting to fall for the Lady Indians. That one doesn't. It's tapped out of bounds. Last touch by the shorter defender, Allie Brown. 2 substitutions for the Lady Horns.
Plainview's credit, they are working the ball around and getting some good looks right there. Those aren't forced threes or anything like that. So just trying to stick within their offense. And like I said, defensively, they have switched it up a little bit here. Now they look like they're back to, I don't know if that's a 3-2 zone or a matchup zone of some sort.
The freshman Ella Munholland, number 10, checks in. It's a turnover. Brown stops and feeds along 2. That's no good, but Allie Wood on the rebound. Wood coming off the bench for Grant Gash. She's made impact in this second quarter. Drive and a kick. Martin picks it up in the corner, trapped by Williamson. Good defense. Trying to smack the ball away. Conan, who has 4 points, kicks back out to Brown, who's being pestered by Williamson still, even when she doesn't have the ball. Brown, wild drive off the side of the backboard. It's out of bounds. It should be Lady Longhorn basketball, and it is.
Yeah, good call right there. Pretty good defense. Just trying to make it more chaotic and get them out of control. And that possession, they really look like they did. Like
Two
you said,
words. Here's
pressure.
the theme: disruptive defense so
Absolutely.
far. That's what Jessie Buck has instilled so far. 27-12, largest lead of the night for the Lady Horns at 15. Hunt doubled. Gets it to Lewis. Now back to Hunt. Rainbow three-pointer. Air ball knocked out of bounds. Should be off the Lady Horns, and it is. 27-12, 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Here's another thing about this game so far in this first half. It seems like it has flown by so far.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, not a whole lot of fouls being called, and really offensively just kind of back and forth.
It's really a credit to the pace of play as well.
Yes.
Camus, who has 3 points, is fouled on the drive. You're starting to see that whistle. Abby Cheney back in the game. 2 substitutions. It's Nance and Hockersmith. They get Munholland and Lewis. Cheney in the first matchup on January 13th had to leave the game in the fourth quarter due to an ankle injury. She has been noted by Grant Gash as the unquestioned leader for the Lady Indians. Working the ball around, down by 15 points. Something they're not uncommon. This is very familiar territory for the Lady Indians as this shot is off, no good, and Lady Horns have numbers.
That's right.
Williamson kicks it ahead. It's Nance for 2. Maggie Nance in the scoring book with her first bucket of the night. Lady Indians were down by 20 last Saturday. That's Allie Brown. Gets her first bucket of the night. But it was really the response out of the halftime break that got this game close again. And it's going to be interesting to see if we get a sequel of that tonight. 29-14, the lead is 15. It's a turnover. That is close to a travel, but it's Cheney who catches it inside off the feed from Camus, and that'll be a foul and 2 free throws for the senior.
You know, back in my coaching days, I probably wouldn't give the benefit of the doubt, but from up here, potentially it could have been deflected. It didn't appear to be, but it might have been. Nonetheless, they're shooting free throws.
Cheney, who's been quiet tonight, all 2 of her points actually came on the first free throws of the game. She made it 2-0. She misses on the first, now 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Presley Hunt checks out.
And like you said, the last time they played, coming out in the third quarter, Plainview kind of took over and really made it a game. This is a really important time, this last minute right here for Plainview and for Lone Grove both. Plainview to make a little bit of a comeback, and Lone Grove to kind of maybe extend the lead a little bit more.
1 minute left. Camus checks out. Williamson feeds inside Hockersmith, who is triple teamed, or at the moment at least she was. Cronley, top of the key, too strong. Rebound, it's Hockersmith. You guessed it. So good on the glass, offensively and defensively, and now she drives in for 2.
Great move right there, great body control to finish that shot.
Hockersmith with 3 points, 31-14. 17-point advantage for the Lady Horns. 30 seconds to play in the first half. Martin, guarded by White. Now to Wood. Get it to Cheney. Looks like the Lady Horns are in no hurry to try to score. Martin drives baseline, got knocked out of bounds. The official will call a foul on Williamson.
And that was a correct call. I didn't know if he was going to call it or not, but that was the correct call.
Seems like Martin almost made the official make that foul call.
Yeah,
she drove baseline and just took the bump and took a few steps out of bounds on the baseline. On this beautifully newly renovated court, I might add. Abby Cheney, that ball hit the top of the backboard. It's out of bounds. Lady Longhorn basketball will have 9.9 seconds to work with.
That was a good look right there.
White, even with 9 seconds, takes a stroll up the court, has an open look for 3 at the buzzer, off the mark, a rebound by Hockersmith. That shot probably would have counted if she would have made it, but it's 31-14. That's your score after 16 minutes of play at the Gary Scott Center. With the district championship on the line, Jesse Buck's Lady Longhorns are in full control. We'll take a break and be back with some halftime analysis right after this on KICM TV.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Stewart's Family Dentistry has been providing dental services to the families in this area for over 30 years. Their full range of services include dental implants, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry, same-day crowns and bridges, orthodontics, preventative, and pediatric dentistry. They'll even file your dental insurance for you. Stewart's Family Dentistry wants to be your family's dentist. Conveniently located in Ardmore, just south of Walmart on Merrick Drive, 223-6720. In Marietta, across from Bank First, 276-3055, and in Medill, across from Amazing Grace Boutique, 795-3360.
First half analysis here at the Gary Scott Center. 31-14 is your score in favor of the Long Grove Lady Longhorns. Let's get some scoring totals real quick. 16 points led by number 14, Callie Williamson. 2 for Rayana White. 6 for Presley Hunt. That all came in the first quarter. Sadie Hockersmith with 3, Maggie Nance with 2, Jaden Cronley with 2. And for the Plainview Indians, they are led by Chloe Conan, who has 4 points. Allie Brown with 3. Allie Wood with 3. Allie Brown with 2. Check that. Hadley Camus with 3, and Abby Cheney with just 2. We got a special guest with us. We've had all kinds of guests. We've had the whole Hale bloodline. We've had, of course, Cade McCurtain is with us, and we're having a great time. And I'm thinking, you know, I could bring one more person, and I have that one person in mind that could make this night even better. Do you know who that is, Cade? You know who it is? You want to take a guess on who it is? It's Sam Harris. How you doing, Sam?
Andy,
Long time no see,
Long
man.
time no
I haven't
see.
seen you since the playoff game at Kingfisher. I think that's the last time I seen you.
Yep. We were just a little bit right down the road.
A little bit, yeah, just right down the road. You could run down there to Longhorn Stadium. But now we're in the Gary Scott Center. It's Plainview, Lone Grove for the district championship. So far, it's been all Longhorns. Have you got to watch the game at all?
Watched a little bit.
I know you're a popular guy. You got to talk to people when you walk in here. But just kind of give your first half thoughts on basketball.
Basketball, you know, great first half. I saw a lot of really well executed plays on offense for the Longhorns. Saw a lot of made buckets. Basketball is really not my cup of tea when it comes to the language of it, but when it comes to us scoring, and we've done a great job on defense. Obviously, we've held them to 14 points in the first half. That's worth talking about. A lot of stops, no stupid turnovers, what I've seen so far. So all I can say is good about them.
It's been a track meet, too. I'm getting a little tired up here watching them go back and forth. Of course, I'm an out-of-shape athlete, a lot like I think Aiden is, and a lot like I think you are. You know, you were
absolutely.
When you were in your prime, you were tip-top shape. You were an unbelievable player on the football field. But, you know, I think our days, or at least my days of playing, are over, just watching these guys go back and forth. But, hey, 31-14 is your score.
Yeah, definitely under the criteria has been.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to say I'm washed.
Washed.
But,
you know, I'm in the washed territory now, I think.
Okay, well, this is the station halftime show. You know, the station was actually a high school spotlight interview. It was a sponsor for our halftime interviews during the football season, but now they're just a sponsor for our halftime shows here on KICM TV. Playoff basketball district championships. Aiden Hill, Andy Dunham, Cade McCurtain. We've had Sam Hill. We've had Sam Harris up here, and we're having a great time up here. 31-14. Getting ready for the second half. Interesting to see what adjustments will be made by Plainview. We will get that analysis, and we'll try to find out what those adjustments will be made after this break here on KICM TV.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Back on KICM TV, Andrew Dunham, Aiden Hill, Cade McCurtain, bringing you now second half action. Thank you to Sam Hill and Sam Harris for helping out in that second quarter. And we welcome back into the broadcast booth Aiden Hill.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, I had some college things to attend, you know.
31-14 is your score. This is knocked out of bounds by Hunt. Both teams will switch sides. Leading scorer for the Lady Longhorns was Callie Williamson. She did it exclusively from the three-point line, knocking down 4 triples in that half.
And that's one thing about this Lone Grove team that they're going to have to keep doing well is keep shooting the ball. You know, with Callie Williamson, Presley Hunt, Rayanna White, even Jaden Cronley, that is the thing that's going to take them over the hump in a lot of these situations.
Cheney, who has struggled to find the net, she does not have a field goal make yet. She has 2 points. Both of them were on free throws to begin the game. Still 31-14, 30 seconds have gone by in this third quarter. Now, when these two teams met last Saturday, this was the quarter of the Lady Indians, if you will, if that's what you want to call it. They outscored the Lady Longhorns 16-8 to be able to get back into the game. Presley Hunt tries to answer with a three. It's a long miss up into the air, stolen. Here comes Conan, who's the leading scorer for the Lady Indians. A wild shot inside, but trailing on the rebound is Brown, knocked out of bounds, and controlling it is White. Under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter.
And it's going to be hard to get a shot off, especially with this 3-2 zone now, and Plainview extending it as well as they have been doing now. There's going to be a lot of movement just like that, which is another turnover, but you're going to see a lot of that through the Longhorns offense with this zone. Is going to be a lot of movement. Try to get that zone out of place to where you can get the shots going from all directions.
Jesse Buck thought it was tipped, and with the three officials on the floor, it only took one to, I think, convince the other two that it got tipped out of bounds. Of course, when you make calls like this where it's going to change, only one side is going to like it. And it will stay with the Lady Longhorns. Still no score in this game in the third quarter. Stolen by Brown. In transition, Conan cannot get the layup to go. Outside Martin, who's scoreless, the only Lady Indian to not put up a point. A rebound, and she's fouled by White. Conan with 4, Cheney with 2, Brown with 2, Wood with 3, Camus with 3. Balanced scoring attack like always for the Lady Indians. Cheney working on White. She's got the height advantage, decides not to use it, kicks out. It's a 3 by Camus, that's up and good.
Simple ball movement just like that. Might get a little spark here going. I mean, they're not down by much, and it's only the beginning of the third quarter. Could be the start of something for the Lady Indians to build on offensively.
Camus with her second 3. She's got 6 points, and speaking of a 3, that's Callie Williamson with her 5th. She's got 19. Camus trying to answer back. She does. A 3-point parade now at the Gary Scott Center. Third 3 for Camus. Williamson dribbling it low, nearly got it stolen. Hockersmith driving baseline, up in the air, no good. Camry Martin, who has been so aggressive on the glass, grabs the rebound, and in the act, she actually fell, and the official calls a foul. 34-20, 14-point lead for the Lady Indians. For the Lady Longhorns, check that. It's a 14-point deficit for the Lady Indians. Under 5.5 to play. Camus is at 2 threes in this second half on back-to-back possessions. Brown drives baseline. She's fouled, counted, and one. So here we go. We noted that whatever halftime adjustments were made last Saturday certainly worked, and it made it a ball game. Part of the reason why the Lady Indians only lost by 8. Well, these sequence right here. A silent 9-3 run by the Lady Indians had made this score (34-22). 12-point deficit.
Well, if there's any time to kind of get a start to a game, it's got to be now. And right now, Plainview offensively looking a lot better than they did in the first half. They got to make it difficult, though, on defense for the Longhorns to score on.
Cronley blocked by Brown, but she got the offensive rebound. Can't get the follow. It was a good look, but Martin ahead. Camus with a 2. She's fouled. And with a pair of free throws, the Lady Indians can cut the lead to 10. Camus, who's been the spark in this second half, already 6 points, making her total 9. She can get in double figures with a made free throw. And it's up and good.
Well, you've seen this last game, on the February 14th game, rather, where Lone Grove had a a huge lead going into the second half, but Plainview readjusted well and made it closer than what it was. And right now we're seeing that right now, especially through the offense what Plainview's doing.
11 points for Camus. That's a team high. 34-24. So far, Lady Indians outscoring the Lady Longhorns 10-3. Feed inside. Maggie Nance 3. No good. Rebound. Fighting for it is Cheney and Nance, who tried to get her own miss. Possession arrow in favor of the Lady Longhorns.
Lady Longhorns are going to give Plainview opportunities here because they want to score. Time is not an essence of this team. They're wanting to score anytime they get the possession.
Lady Longhorns' strength is, of course, that's a 5-second violation. Beginning to say the strength for the Lady Longhorns offense has been the second chance points and then the three ball. They haven't got any of that so far in this second half. Just 1 3 from Williamson, and there's a timeout on the floor called by Jesse Buck. We'll take one as well as it's 34-24. Don't go anywhere. Lady Indians having themselves a third quarter after this break.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
That's your score after nearly 4 minutes have played in this third quarter. A lot like the first half, this third quarter's flown by. It's the Lady Indians stringing together some stops and, more importantly, getting some offense going. Kind of knew it was going to come at some point. That's Camus. Plainview crowd probably wanted a foul.
Tough.
Instead, it's the Lady Horns with Williamson. A three that's no good. Hawker-Smith, who's been so good on the glass, the offensive glass specifically. Ball was knocked out of bounds last touch by Plainview.
I think one readjustment Gash has made, and you can kind of tell with the Lady Longhorns is they've pulled off on the pressure a little bit, where those baskets are not easily being made through the press.
Lady Longhorns come up empty again. And here comes Brown. Brown and Camus combining for 10 points in this third quarter. Martin cannot get her first bucket. Still, she's really one of the only Lady Indians, or she is the only Lady Indian that has not scored in this game. It's Martin who's been held scoreless, and it's also Macy Caldwell, number 10. But it's a 9-man rotation, or really a 9-man roster for the Lady Indians. So far they played 7 players. Hawker-Smith, that's easy. And that's a good, much-needed bucket for the Lady Longhorns, who now lead by 12, 36-24. Camus to Allie Wood, 3 points in the first half. Feed inside. Cheney doubled, has to get it back out. It's a long three from Camus. That is an air ball.
They've been shooting a lot on the outside, but like I said, it's kind of hard when Cheney is getting sort of doubled there in the post. Kind of hard to go look inside, but I still feel like in a way you got to look at her in a lot of possessions where it can open up those shooters on the outside, especially for Cheney. She can get some foot going in the inside.
2 minutes and 38 seconds left on the third quarter clock. It's in the high post. So Hawker-Smith takes a couple dribbles and then kicks it back out from Conley to White. At the top, Nance, corner, inside. Hawker-Smith, she's got help on the backside, but instead put the ball on the ground, and right there, the pesky defense by the Indians. letting Hockersmith pay. You got to think maybe sometimes when Hockersmith catches the ball in the post to maybe go up with it.
That's one of the things about it. She puts the ball right down on the ground where those guards can easily rip it or even get a tip on it.
Bad turnover by Brown. And you get, Brown and Camus and Martin, not the tallest defenders on the floor by no means, but that actually gives them an advantage when that does happen. When Hockersmith puts it on the ground, very easy for these Plainview Lady Indian guards to try to get the ball. 36-24 is the score. 10-5 scoring advantage in this third quarter to the Indians. It's Williamson who tries to answer and does. Sixth three-pointer for number 14.
It's been pretty much all on the top of the key for her, and she has been making Plainview pay for the three, as that almost goes in for Camus as well.
22 points. Cheney with a field goal make. Aiden mentioned it. Camus missed on the initial shot, but the follow was good by Cheney. That's her 4th point. We'll keep it right here with a 13-point advantage still in favor of the Lady Longhorns. Remember, a reminder, do not go anywhere. We still have a boys match to play. It's Stephen Hunt in his first district championship game as the head ball coach of the Long Grove Longhorns. It's Dion Stevenson, who's in his 7th year as the Plainview Indians head coach, looking to right the ship on what has been a disappointing season. But in games like these, you win this kind of game, not only does your postseason get, easy per se, but you get yourself in a good situation where you put yourself in the winner's bracket. You quintessentially get 2 losses. If you lose this game, you only get 1 more loss. You get to the consolation bracket, which is what the Lady Indians are trying to avoid. If they do get in the consolation bracket, they will play the loser of Ardmore and Pauls Valley, and that game will be played on Thursday night.
Which are 2 tough opponents, even if they do get to meet. And it'd be surprising, but Andy, there's another steal.
Steal, Brown with room service the other way for 2.
But it could mean Lone Grove and Plainview get to meet up for a 4th time, even after this game. Could.
7 points for Brown, the 2nd leading scorer for the Lady Indians.
Be a cool matchup. You don't see that often if a team gets to meet 4 times in a row.
Williamson air ball. Rebound by Cheney, quickly ahead. Allie Wood, who has 1 3-point make tonight, not decide to pull the trigger on that one. That's Camus who will. But instead, Brown catches it off the dribble, inside for 2. Wild finish, no good. Rebound by Hockersmith. Here come the Lady Horns who want to push. They don't have numbers, but Hockersmith takes it anyway and gets called for the foul. Gets the beneficiary. Abby Cheney with the whistle.
And that's one thing that Sadie Hockersmith has really done good about, especially this season, it seems. It's her really being aggressive towards the basket and getting opportunities like that to go to the charity stripe, make and one opportunities, as well as getting second chance. Obviously, the board speak for itself, but she's done really well this season.
Hockersmith goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. She's got 5 points. And her first points of the second half. 41-28. 13-point advantage. Nice move by Cheney, everything but the make. Ball stolen from behind. Caldwell, Euro step for 2. Beautiful move inside. First bucket for Caldwell. 41-30, 11 points. In favor of the Horns. Shot at the end is no good. The shot will not count, but it's an 11-point advantage. Still in favor of the Horns, but give the third period to the Lady Indians, who trailed by as many as 17 out of the halftime break. Now trailed by just 11. We'll take a break and get you set for the final frame of the first game of tonight's doubleheader after these words.
Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store. Every kind of feed and seed that you need. Pet stuff to livestock supplies. From farm and ranch, we're the guys. For any kind of job, we help you do it right. Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store.
Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery has been caring for the people of Southern Oklahoma for over 40 years. As board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgeons, Dr. Wallace and Dr. Sutherland have the highest level of expertise in the removal of wisdom teeth, placement of dental implants, facial injuries, corrective jaw surgery, jaw pain, and facial cosmetic surgery. By continually learning innovative techniques and utilizing the most up-to-date technology, they are able to provide world-class oral and facial surgery right here in Southern Oklahoma. To discuss your oral or facial surgical needs, call the experts at Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery.
That's why I got you. As we charge into the fourth quarter, 41-31. There was a fixing of the scoreboard. So the Lady Indians entered that break in between the third and fourth quarter down by 11, and they walk out onto the court and they're down by 10. They gain a point. But White gets fouled on free throws, and she makes the first.
And that's one thing that Lone Grove is going to have to do, especially now here in the fourth quarter, is got to be consistent with the free throws. You know Plainview's going to start throwing around, especially if they have to foul in situations where free throws matter. And especially now with Plainview, this second half looking great offensively from inside and the outside.
White, after scoring 10 and 17 in the first two matches between Plainview, she's only had 4. And that's Conan for 2. Conan, who was scoreless in that third quarter, she was the leading scorer out of the halftime break with 4 points. Now she's got 6. Camus with 11, Brown with 7, and Conan with 6. 6-7. White.
Sounding like all these little kids beside us.
Dribbling around. 43-33. Conan. White thought about it. Now she fires a 3 and gets a fortuitous bounce. 46-33. That was a much-needed bucket for the Lady Indians, and White has 8 points. 7 points checked out. That's the 9th triple as a team for the Lady Longhorns. Cronin back to the free throw line.
One thing that can get the Lady Longhorns in trouble, and I think even with the fourth quarter now, is there's not a bad shot they don't take, and there's not a shot they don't like, Andy. And especially with time, I know especially here in the fourth, where you want to have a lot of your possessions consume the most time, and right now Lone Grove, they're still going to fire it up, so they're still going to give Plainview a chance here, even the fourth quarter, to make something happen.
Cronin goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. She's got 7 points, 46-34 the score, under 5.5 to play. Presley Hunt, who's been quiet in this game, had 6 points in the first quarter with 2 3-pointers, and since then she's been scoreless. She can change that at the free throw line after she missed her first shot but got her offensive rebound and put it back up. In the last 5 district championship games, the Lone Grove Lady Longhorns are 2-3, but they've won 2 in a row, with one being at Tishomingo and one at home against Pauls Valley. For the Lady Indians, they're 4-1 in their last 5 district championships. They had a 4-game winning streak with district championships until last year when they lost to Ardmore at Ardmore, 60-46. Grant Gash, 2-1 in district championship games. We mentioned in the opening, 101 career games now for Grant Gash in his 4th year, who's done a tremendous job with this program. Cheney turnaround jumper, that's good. 48-36 now your score.
And Lone Grove's going in the zone right now where Plainview, they can optimize on finding the gaps, especially for Cheney, who's been doubled, it seems like, this whole game, where she can get some shots.
Hunt, I thought that ball was going to hit the American flag that's on top of the Gary Scott Center here. It unfortunately missed everything. 48-36. Indians can cut the lead to single digits with a 3, but inside it's a feed to Martin for 2. Martin's first bucket of the night.
And like I said, there's going to be these opportunities Lone Grove's going to give you. The gaps on the defense is a big problem in these zones, but they're scoring so fast.
White with a 2. Speaking of scoring fast, a bucket apiece on each side, and it comes within a span of about 15 seconds. 50-38. The Lady Horns have entered half 100. We approach 5 minutes to play. The pass to Martin. It was to White. White had her back to the ball. I don't think that was the smartest pass by Wood. That was going to be a tough catch by Martin.
It's a tough pass right there. And like I said, you don't gotta get all antsy with the ball. You still got plenty of time, and like I said, you're not that far down.
50-38. Hunt cannot extend the lead. That was 12. Camus at the top of the key. Wood, Cheney thought about the 3, instead feeds inside to Caldwell for 2. Caldwell with our first bucket. Excuse me, second bucket. Missed 3-pointer by White. 10-point game. There's that opportunity to cut it to single digits. Martin lost it out of bounds, and it's off of the Lady Longhorns. 4:11 left.
There's still plenty of time in Lone Grove. Like I said, they're not extending their possessions. They're not really wasting as much time as possible. Like I said, they are eager to score as much as possible, but when you have the lead, especially with this much time, and you're giving Plainview a lot of opportunity to score and a lot of possessions to do it as well.
Cheney, that turnaround jumper has been working in this fourth quarter. She knocks it down, 50-42. Cheney with 8 points, 6 of those coming in this second half.
I think
50-42.
I think Lone Grove's got to start wasting time here just a little bit, not score so fast.
Hockersmith, count it, and the harm. Thought about maybe holding the ball, milking some clock. Hockersmith found her chance to drive at the rim, took on 2 defenders in red jerseys, gets the call
and the basket,
and the bucket, and the free throw, the old-fashioned way. Hockersmith with 8 points in the contest. Gets the lead back to double digits at 11. 53-42, 3:45 left. We'll be back after these words from your sponsors.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Back inside the Gary Scott Center for district championship match. We have a scoring update that concerns this game. Number 13, Pauls Valley. The Panthers, Cheney give and go, faked it from Martin and drives inside for the free throw. 51-25 is your score in Pauls Valley in favor of the Pauls Valley Panthers. So, unless nothing crazy happens in that game, and if the Lady Horns can hold on, we will have the Lady Panthers and the Lady Longhorns in the winner's bracket on Tuesday night.
Right here.
right here. That's exactly right.
It's going to be a tough matchup. Pauls Valley is a really good team, and
tough matchup for either squad in this game right here. Is the Lady Indians are not going down without a fight. 2 free throws by Cheney. She's in double figures with 10. The lead is 9. Hockersmith, the head full of steam. Now Hunt drives. Layup is good.
That's got to be one thing the Lady Longhorns got to need, are layups.
Hunt's in double figures with 10. Martin was too strong on the three-point try. A couple of tries on the offensive glass. Indians still come up empty-handed. 55-44. Hockersmith. Behind the back move, but denied by Brown. Good defense. Williamson up top with 22 points, leading all scorers.
If Lone Grove's going to get a basket, it's got to be a layup here or even get a foul call.
Right wing 3, Hunt.
Well,
good. That could possibly be the dagger.
Or a three-pointer. That works even better.
13 points. The lead is 14. Brown. Camus trying to take Williamson off the dribble. Instead, they give it to Cheney. Martin drives baseline. Blocked, but a foul. Lone Grove crowd disagrees.
You know, one thing I did notice about, all these girls and stuff, they all got really, really bright shoes. We didn't have that back in the day.
I know you don't remember it because you weren't around yet, but you remember Shoe Cam, Cade?
Shoe Cam.
One of the more popular segments on KICM TV, Shoe Cam.
We'd have a lot of shoe cams
We
right
would
now.
right now.
Pink shoes, purple shoes, green shoes.
58-45 is your score, 2:10 left. We'll keep it right here on YouTube, powered by KICM TV. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Some 5 Mile Feud basketball, and so far it's been a treat so far.
It has. We've got to see the offense of power with Lone Grove, especially from the three-point range. And obviously, we've kind of seen some resurgence in this Lady Indian team trying to make this a ball game. So it's been a good overall game, and for Lone Grove to beat a team 3 times if they can hold the lead, that would be really impressive, especially for the season they're having.
So far, the Lady Horns have led by as many as 17 tonight. That was the lead they had at the halftime break. But the Indians were able to cut it to as many as 8. That's when it was 50-42. But that's the smallest they've gotten the lead down to. And it's taken some extra effort from the Lady Horns in both contests. The one on January 13th and the one last Saturday on February 14th. A pesky Plainview squad.
Yep. Which you got to give credit to Plainview that on both games, they have done the same thing and they have fought back in a lot of these battles. So you got to give credit to the Lady Indians for sticking around. Lady
Horns looking for win number 7 in a row. Ended the regular season on a 6-game winning streak. Hockersmith inside for 2. That rattled in and out. Couldn't get the follow as well. White, second offensive rebound of the possession. Nearly taken away by Lewis. And there's a foul on Plainview. Camus checks back in. 58-45. Check out, that was a foul on the Lady Horns. Over the back foul. Brown drives on Hunt. Instead, kicks. Martin. Caldwell, all air. Cheney caught it, but she had her foot on the baseline.
Yeah. I thought she would get away with that.
Lone Grove crowd on the other side of us. We're on the away side tonight. Wanted a travel on the initial drive from Martin. Full court pressure shown by the Indians. 1.5 minutes to play. Lady Horns in the driver's seat up by 13 points. Hunt ahead. Williamson, they got a 2 if they want it. It's Lewis, misses the layup. fight for the rebound. They'll go on the floor for it. It's nearly ripped away by Hockersmith. Possession arrow goes to the Indians. Jump ball. I wonder how many of those have we seen tonight?
Quite a few, quite a few.
See a lot with these scrappy players.
Yeah.
Especially in girls basketball. 1:15 left. Camus gets it across the timeline. Going to run a set play. Picks up her dribble, guarded heavily by Maggie Nance. Three-pointer, Camus, short, out of bounds. Lady Longhorn basketball with 55 seconds left. Lady Indians will make a series of substitutions.
The biggest thing now for the Lady Indians following this game is recouping, obviously getting ready for that next game.
Which we think, as that's Nance underneath for two. We assume, or we almost know, it's going to be the Ardmore Lady Tigers. After seeing they were down 51-25. We don't have an official score on that game yet.
Some drastics got to happen for that to change.
That could be the same story with this game now. 22 seconds left. A miss by Cheney. Three-pointer, Martin. No. Rebound, Hockersmith. She can throw it ahead. White will. Nance, Hunt. Up for two. 62-45, and now an exclamation point with 3 seconds left. It's district championship number 3 in a row for Jessie Buck and the Lady Longhorns. They will face the Paws Valley Panthers on Tuesday night in the winners bracket right here in their very building. Final score 62-45. We'll be back with final thoughts here on KICM TV, but first we'll see the boys in both Lone Grove and Plainview run out onto the court. But first we're going to get a trophy presentation for the district championship plaque awarded by Lone Grove Athletic Director Sam Hale. District championship number 3, win number 7 in a row. Jessie Buck now improves his overall record to 35-14. Here come the Plainview Indian boys. Gonna get that bad taste out of their mouth. But the Lady Longhorns just left the Lady Indians. Interesting matchup right here with the boys.
It's gonna be a good game from both squads, and
both teams meeting in the middle. Now it's the Longhorns.
We both played this game, and you know how it is with tensions between Plainview kids and Lone Grove kids. It's a game you want to win. So to do it for a district championship, it's going to be fun to watch.
It's a game where no matter who's favored, it really doesn't matter in this game.
No.
It could go either way, but 10 minutes are on the clock for warm-ups. We'll step aside, play a few commercials, and then get you set for the boys matchup. Lone Grove versus Plainview right after these words.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory wants you to know that planning ahead gives you the opportunity to select merchandise and services at today's prices and relieves your loved ones of making hasty decisions later. Harvey Douglas is the only funeral home in Ardmore offering 4 family meeting rooms with unique backdrops to personalize your experience. Their caring staff can help arrange every aspect of a beautiful funeral. Before making any decisions, visit Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory in their new facility at 2118 South Commerce in Ardmore.
Colt Harris. Senior number 14, Elijah Mims. And the senior number 21, Peyton Watterson. Longhorns are coached by head coach Stephen Hunt, assisted by Garrett Doyle and Max Bradbury.
All right, so the stage is set for the final game of our doubleheader district championship action. Coming at you on KICM TV. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Plainview Indians, who are coming in with an overall record of 4-14, led by head coach Dion Stevenson in his 7th overall year at Plainview, in his 4th year of his second tenure. Number 0, Dominique Corsi. Number 1, Luke Daniels. Number 5, Noah Enriquez. Number 20, Vaishon Threet. And number 23, Leighton Dvorak. For the Plainview Indians, who are led by first-year man Stephen Hunt. It's Drake Madole, Cooper Baxter, Colt Harris, Elijah Mims, and Peyton Watterson. We're underway. Plainview wins the tip. Dvorak, fall-away jumper off the glass is good, and we're underway. Officially, as Plainview draws first blood.
Dvorak, a sophomore, has incredible size and length, and like I said, he's going to have to take that as an advantage tonight, as he is the tallest one in the court.
Drake Madole with a 3. Missed it. Dvorak the rebound. You did mention he's got size. That should be Lone Grove basketball. It might have looked like it last touch Dvorak, but some full court pressure already being shown by the Longhorns. But you mentioned it, yeah, the size is going to be a factor here for Plainview, not only for Dvorak, but also Dominique Corsi wearing the number 0, who can do all things on the basketball floor. And he also has a 6'4" presence about him.
And expect him to get doubled a lot in this game. If he gets it anywhere in the post, expect a double there.
It's a 3-pointer from Threet. It's no good. Long rebound out to Elijah Mims wearing the number 14. Drake Madole, the number 2 in white. Took the first shot for the Longhorns. Here's Cooper Baxter wearing number 5.
And Drake Madole was sidelined. He had an injury in the last game. Didn't play against Plainview on the 14th. So this is a game where he's dealing with some injuries, but he's back on.
Baxter in the corner also missed the first matchup between these two teams on January 13th. That's a 3-pointer in the corner. That is nothing but the bottom. Baxter has opened up that 3-point game that has been just expanded his game beyond measures. He was physical when he first started getting minutes at the varsity level, but now has opened up that outside shot, and it's done wonders for his game as far as all-around ability on the basketball floor.
And that's one thing that Cooper Baxter, he has struggled with even through the season, was his 3-point shot. Even towards the end now, he has been shooting it lights out beyond the arc. It's got to be a real threat when he gets out there.
He had 3 3-pointers against Calera in the season finale. That's a bad turnover by the Horns, but they get it back in transition. Enriquez loses it. Mims, one-handed bounce pass. Colt Harris underneath, puts up a shot, and it's up and in for 2. Colt Harris, such a great story, battling through adversity, injuries. Now gets a healthy senior season, and he's made the most of it, Aiden. And he was one of your real bright spots in the scouting report for the Horns.
Well, as he has efficiently been the best player for this team, and he's going to have to take control tonight, like that one, where not only can he get a lot of shots on the outside, but in the inside he can do some work as well. It's going to be a real tough test for the Indians to deal with number 10.
Corsi spin move, using his size. Mims took a bump, but there was no whistle. And there was a jump ball. Possession arrow is pointed towards the direction of the home team, which is the Lone Grove Longhorns. 5-2 is the score. 3 points for Baxter, 2 for Harris on the Lone Grove side, and Leighton Dvorak is the lone bucket for the Indians. Mims pressured by Corsi. Ball screen not taken by Mims, and steady. Euro steps inside for 2.
And it's a dynamic duo between Mims and Harris. Have been all season long being the main scorers for this Lone Grove team. Expect that to happen, especially for Mims driving in the inside. He has that 6'2" frame, lengthy ability to get in the basket with his athletic size.
Turnover for Plainview on the entry pass. Enriquez threw it away, trying to hit Dvorak. High pass, Drake Madole, older brother of Xander Madole, former Long Grove Ford. Mims pressured by Corsi. Watterson, Madole tries another three. That's up and in. 10-2 start in favor of the Longhorns. Like the Lady Longhorns earlier in the contest, they are working the three ball and now getting after it defensively. Colt Harris with a steal, tried to get it to Watterson. I think Harris might have had a layup if he just took it himself. But still Longhorn basketball.
It's either give that ball up early or go ahead and be aggressive enough to go get the score right there.
Corsi steals the inbound pass, and he's fouled by Harris. This is the key for Plainview. Dominique Corsi had a team-high 22 points in the loss the first time these two teams met. But if you talk to Dion Stevenson about Dominique Corsi, he has nothing but good things to say. And talks about how versatile he is and the things he can do on the floor and the way that he is. He can be effective on both sides, and with his size and stature, that can come into play in a game like this. Corsi so far scoreless. Corsi averaged 14 points and 8 rebounds his freshman campaign. By far the guy who comes back with the most experience on this Plainview roster.
And the greatest thing about Corsi is he's only a sophomore this year. You know, with his size and his frame and his abilities to go, you would think he's got to be a junior or senior. But when you tell people that, they get amazed about how he looks on the court and how good he is also.
3:45 to play in the first quarter, 10-2 in favor of the Longhorns. Corsi puts up a wild shot in the lane. Didn't have his feet set. He actually took it back out of Baxter's hands. Now he has to try to rip the ball out of Madole's hands. Madole actually last-second effort throws it off of Corsi. It's going to be out of bounds off of the Indians. Speaking of threats who come in big sizes, it's Brandon Heckettthorne wearing the number 4 jersey. The Air Force commit in football, all-state defensive lineman for the Horns, is an inside presence and then some for this team. Working inside, now trying to post up on Dvorak. He wants it. Won't get it to him. Mims drives, kicks out. Lost ball nearly out of bounds by Kobe Brewer, who checks in wearing the number 0. Watterson dribbles into trouble. This is a sloppy possession for the Horns. Seems like they never really had control of the basketball that possession, but there's a timeout on the floor by Stephen Hunt. 10-2 is your score, 2:54 left. We'll be back after these words.
At Barrett Mortgage, you're not just a client, you're family. Your local mortgage experts, Kat and John Terry and Tim Barrett, have 50-plus years of combined experience in making things stress-free, with fast approvals and options tailored just for you. First-time buyers, refinances, federal loan programs, and more. Barrett Mortgage will guide you every step of the way. Your friendly and local mortgage lenders is Barrett Mortgage. For reviews, contact info, and more, visit barrettmortgagegroup.com. Barrett Mortgage, where we treat you like family.
Harvey Douglas Funeral Home and Crematory wants you to know
at Barrett Mortgage, you're
some early keys in this game. I think Long Grove has to find an offensive pulse. You said it during the break, when Mims and Harris check out, who's going to be the main source of offense? And I think for the Indians, it's actually Dominique Corsi who just checked out. I think for Corsi, he's just got to slow down and maybe let the game go his way. I think that Corsi's not checking out. Jaden Smith, number 10, is at the scores table. Not sure who he's getting yet. Quick pass, Heckettthorne to Madole. Madole is fouled by Enriquez.
Well, for Corsi, with his size and stuff, you know, you're going to get that immediate threat. And, you know, here's the thing. When you're a player like him, expect that. And I think you got to slow it down. Let the game come to you, as always.
How does that happen, though? Because he's in a rivalry game, district championships on the line. If you're in his shoes, which you have been, being a dynamic player for a team in a high-profile game? Maybe the adrenaline's flying. What's the key to getting back to yourself and helping your team out here?
I think slowing down, knowing that you have the abilities to go out there and be the best player on the court. There's no doubt about it. He is one of the best athletes, if not the best athlete when he is on the court. Thing is you got to slow down. Obviously, know what kind of shots you like to take, get to your spots, and let the game just come to you, you know? I think right now he's trying to force a lot of things that aren't there necessarily.
Forcing things that aren't there. That was nearly Plainview right there, who actually turned it over but got it back. Enriquez off the offensive board, can't get it. A fight for the rebound underneath. Jaden Smith tries to get it out. It's knocked out of bounds by Colt Harris. It should be Plainview basketball. 12-2 is the score.
And expect Luke Daniels to make some presence on this team, obviously. They're going to need an offensive presence, and right now Luke Daniels is wide open in the corner.
Daniels with a three. You heard my partner up here in the booth. He's too strong, and Heckathorn is just all over the place right now with the hustle, trying to get the rebound. You can tell that's a football player out there trying to make plays.
And I got to give a lot of praise to Heckathorn this season, where you don't typically see him on the basketball court, but when he is now, which he has done this whole season, he has been a presence on the inside, not backing down from pressure, not backing down from any opponent, and just being an anchor for the Longhorns to rely on when they need a big guy inside.
Keller Stanley checking into the game for the Longhorns. Long rebound. Daniels missed a shot, got his follow, and instead decided to take it in for two when he got free throws. 12-2 is the score, 2:12 left in the first quarter. For Stephen Hunt, this is his first, well, rather third taste, his first full season of the 5 Mile feud against Plainview. So far, he's had a good start. He's 2-0. He was very highly touted of his 5 seniors coming into this game, and he really felt like he could play with 8, 9, or 10 guys. And when asked about his biggest strength at the beginning of the season, he said his numbers. And it's the famous mantra that was adapted by those early Golden State Warriors teams, strength in numbers. That's what Stephen Hunt thinks he has with this Longhorn team. And so far, you've seen the multitude of substitutions that have come on the floor for the Horns. That's Baxter who left that shot short. Mims actually caught it underneath, but there's a foul underneath the basket.
Well, to kind of go off your point with strength in numbers, obviously it helps when you have guys like Cooper Baxter getting some rest, Colt Harris getting some rest, Elijah Mims, and when you're replenishing them with guys that can go in the court, give you some spurts of energy, that's going to help you tremendously as almost another turnover for the Indians.
Corner three, too strong. Jaden Smith offensive rebound. That almost turnover came with Corsi, tried to split the double team to get open. Daniels with 2 points. Dvorak has 4. So what's the source of offense for Plainview so far? Well, it's been the inside game of Leighton Dvorak, who's just a sophomore. May have 2 free throws from Luke Daniels.
I think working the ball, obviously, Lone Grove, they're going to give you some opportunities to score. There's going to be some faults here and there, but right now it's been Dvorak, and like I said, if Dominique Corsi can get to his old strides and let the game kind of come to him, he's going to be more effective in this game.
Great move. It started with Culberson, who got Dvorak in the air. Peyton Watterson for 2 and the foul. Wearing the number 21. Showing shades of Brody Newton almost right there, making a play. I had to say it. I'm sorry I had to say it. Watterson gets in the scoring category.
We haven't heard that name in a while in here.
First bucket. Of course, former number 21.
Something about the 21s.
Gets a 3-point play.
Something about the 21s, you know, they are always effective when they get in the game.
They say 21 will get you in. How about maybe 10 will get you in as well? Corsi fouled from behind by Mims. That's not a smart foul.
And that's one thing that the Longhorns do struggle with, Andy, is that they do struggle with fouling a lot. Like I said, another player comes out, Mims. Got to heavily rely on Colt Harris for the offensive scoring here now.
I think that's what Stephen Hunt tried to say to Mims, and I'm sure that's what he's saying right there. Why foul? You understand, you want Corsi to get flustered a little bit. That was the 5th team foul. That gets free throws for Dominique Corsi. And in perspective, Corsi has not got a bucket to fall yet. Sometimes you might just need a free throw. You might just need to see the ball go through the net. Corsi can't do that on the first free throw. He's going to have to try on the second one, but not a smart foul.
No.
For Mims and company.
No, and that's, like I said, that's something he has been struggling with all season, is being that aggressive player we know he can be defensively and offensively. But right there, Corsi just finding a little free throw could help him, like you say, with confidence aspect going into this game.
Horns still lead by 8. That's an over and back. The pressure called on by Deion Stevenson works. 52 seconds left. The Indians can go for a quick bucket here, or they can hold for the final shot. There's no shot clock in high school boys basketball, at least just yet. Daniels gets the ball. Corsi looking to post up. He's got a mismatch on Drake Madole. Daniels trying to put the moves on Watterson. Watterson with 3 points.
And if I'm Plainview, I'm just going to try to hold the ball as much as I can, or do that with Corsi.
Got a good look at it. Dvorak, the rebound, has to get it out. Its last touch looks like by Plainview. It was a 50-50 call. Could have went either way. Goes in favor of the Horns. 20 seconds left, and now what you said about Plainview can be served true for the Horns.
Well, if I'm Coach Hunt, I'm looking at one guy only to take the last shot here for the first quarter, and it's the guy with the ball in his hands, is number 10, Colt Harris. If anything, it's got to be designed for him, right?
It was number 10 guarding number 10. Smith on Harris. There's a foul with 7.5 seconds left in the first quarter.
Look for a little screen right here, maybe on this box set, for someone to cut into the post area in the block.
Get a little, yeah, you can do a lot of different things with this look. Harris took the back screen from Baxter. He has to throw it up. It's well short. Rebound by Threet. 15-7 is your score after 1. 8 minutes have gone by. An 8-point advantage for the home team, Long Grove Longhorns. District championship on the line in the boys bracket. We'll be back after these words.
Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store. Every kind of feed and seed that you need. Pet stuff to livestock supplies, a farm and ranch, we're the guys. For any kind of job, we help you do it right. Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store.
Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery has been caring for the people of Southern Oklahoma for over 40 years. As board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgeons, Dr. Wallace and Dr. Sutherland have the highest level of expertise in the removal of wisdom teeth, placement of dental implants, facial injuries, corrective jaw surgery, jaw pain, and facial cosmetic surgery. By continually learning innovative techniques and utilizing the most up-to-date technology, they are able to provide world-class oral and facial surgery right here in Southern Oklahoma. To discuss your oral or facial surgical needs, call the experts at Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery.
Looking at the Lone Grove huddle, they nurse an 8-point lead, and head coach Stephen Hunt talking about his team depth and also talking about the schedule. He felt very confident in playing his 8, 9, 10 guys, and well, also talking about the schedule. Said, like a lot of coaches, hopefully by the end of January we're playing our best basketball, but he didn't really have a game circled on his calendar. That's Daniels inside, no good. He said he was going to treat every game like Championship Saturday night. Well, Coach Hunt, welcome to Championship Saturday night for the districts. Couple of wacky plays here. Madole inside missed it. This is starting to feel like LA Fitness on a Sunday at 3 p.m. Corsi misses, there's a foul. Stop at your play.
That's a good way to put it right there. There's nothing wrong with some LA Fitness basketball.
There's nothing wrong with a little co-ed intramural basketball, in college. But, I've been a part of that kind of basketball, and that's what it felt like. But we'll get a stoppage of play. And Corsi goes to the free throw line for the second time tonight with just one singular point. Now he has 2. Here's Dion Stevenson, who is in his 4th year in his 2nd tour as the Plainview head boys basketball coach. In year number 7, led the Plainview Indians to a 16-9 record last season, marking the first winning season since 2020 and 2021. Can you believe that?
That's awesome.
Corsi goes 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Indians were able to get a second crack at it on offense and come up empty-handed. Corsi 2 of 4 from the free throw line with 2 points. Madole, shaken, Bacon, drives, kicks. Watterson now back to Harris. Good ball movement by the Horns. Can they convert? Harris bumping, glass, no. Rebound. Knocked out of bounds by Culberson. No, it stays with the Horns. Mims races back into the play. And he gets T.J. Culberson.
So there's 2 Longhorns right there that, like I said at the beginning of the game, they're going to be the most effective on scoring with Colt Harris and Elijah Mims. There's going to be a foul as well.
Drake Madole was the leading scorer in the first quarter for the Horns. He has 5. Baxter with 3, Harris with 2, Watterson with 3, and Mims with 2. So no player that has come off the bench for the Horns has scored yet. Ball's out of bounds, Plainview basketball. And that was your key, Aiden. Who's going to score, especially when Mims and Harris check out? Well, so far it's been a 9-man rotation for Stephen Hunt.
Yep, and you got to think, too, with Madole. Like I said, he was nursing an injury last week, and now he's back on playing terms. So he's been kind of been a relief for this Longhorn team as far as offensive capability is concerned.
Charlie Austin, number 15, travels. Tried to give a pump fake.
And that's one man, too, where, if Plainview needs something to happen, number 15, Charlie Austin, there isn't a shot he does not like. He likes to shoot. He likes to create. Like I said, he's on the smaller frame, but don't let that fool you. He can make something happen.
Ray Barrett, number 22 in the game, a freshman for Plainview. 15-8, 7-point lead still for the Longhorns. Horns have been held scoreless so far in this second quarter. Watterson tries to answer, can't. Too strong off the glass. Corsi with a rebound. Here he comes racing down the floor. Across the timeline, picked up by Mims. We haven't seen Corsi take an outside shot yet. Smith, nice move. Missed the shot. Enriquez, a rebound. Tries to get it out. It's stolen by Mims. Here come the Horns with numbers. Mims, nice pass. Harris, 2. 14-10. That's a recognizable connection, I would say. 14-10 for 2. 17-8. Smith, Harris gambled on the pass. Enriquez puts it up for 2, and he's fouled. That was a great sequence right there with a pass from Mims.
I think for the Indians right there offensively, kind of got to slow it down, let it work to you. And it worked at the beginning of the game where Dvorak, he was getting a lot of open looks. Obviously, he's not in the game, but same rules apply here, especially if you still have Corsi in the game.
Enriquez on a 1-and-1, missed the first one badly. Gets into the hands of the Longhorns, who have a 9-point lead. 17-8 in the district championship match. Long Grove boys looking to make it 3-0 on the Plainview Indians in the 2025-26 season. Dion Stevenson looking to capture the 3rd district championship in the last 5 years. That's Baxter inside for 2. Good pass by Drake Madole. Baxter with 5 points. Balanced scoring so far for the Horns. Gray Barrett up top. Doesn't seem like a threat to shoot the ball. Enriquez in no man's land. Covered. Baxter and Watterson go to double. It's back to Barrett. Barrett gets it to Corsi. Corsi with a ball fake. On the left wing, a dribble, a shot. It's up. It's no good. It rattles in and out. but there was a timeout on the floor called by Dion Stevenson. 19-8, double-digit lead for the Horns after these words.
Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store. Every kind of feed and seed that you need. Pet stuff to livestock supplies, a farm and ranch, we're the guys. For any kind of job, we help you do it right. Stillwater Milling Company, more than just a feed store.
Getting a look at the Plainview huddle and, more importantly, Dion Stevenson. When asked about his really status at Plainview at the beginning of the year, he said, and I quote, "This is year number 7 for me, and as head coach here, there's no place that I'd rather be." Said he's certainly appreciative of the opportunity to coach these fantastic young men. He did say whatever happens, happens, and the Plainview Indians come in with a 4-14 record. It has not been the year that this team or their fans have anticipated. But once again, we said it all night long, a win like tonight can turn around a season. Corsi with a 3 out of the timeout. It's no good. Boston Neer is in the game, number 11 for Plainview. 4:20 to go. Colt Harris in the corner. Harris has not shot in a 3 yet. It's usually his specialty as well.
Absolutely. You don't want to give him any kind of room right there, as there's been some good defense being played on him by Gray Barrett.
Pass by Harris deflected out of bounds by Charlie Austin. Austin, a sophomore. Got a lineup out here right now for the Indians where it's freshman, sophomore, 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 junior.
All youth.
Oh my goodness, and much of it. That's been the theme for the Indians. A lot of youth. Madole, a 3, got it. Stepping back, and he lets a roar out. He's fired up. Plainview bench, especially Dion Stevenson, might have wanted a foul call, an offensive foul. There wasn't one called. Here comes Mims the other way with a layup. Hard foul. And Mims gets up. He goes to the free throw line. Game's starting to pick up a little bit.
Energy is picking up for the Longhorns, and kind of held my breath when Mims took the floor right there. But thank goodness he got up right there. And like I said, little sparks like that, especially from Madole, who has came alive now here in the first half of play and gives the Longhorns some energy to go ahead and bump up their score a little bit.
That was a step back 3 by Madole, his second 3 of the night. So fundamentally sound, like Big Brother. Got to give credit to their father, Matthew Madole, coaching up these 2 young men. Of course, you got little brother Titus as well. The whole Madole clan can hoop, no question about that. Mims misses both free throws. Missed opportunity there. 22-8. Largest lead of the night for the Horns at 14. 8 points for Madole, that's the leading scorer. Vorak, 3. Horns break the pressure with ease. Corsi, spin move, layup is good. Dominique Corsi with his first field goal make. He's got 4 points.
Right now, if you're Plainview right now, it's got to be with him or Layton on the bottom half, trying to get as much score as possible. Obviously, you can bring in Boston from beyond the arc as well.
Madole is fouled again. And the foul. Drake Madole, who's now in double figures with 10 points, can go to the free throw line. That was a beautifully designed play by the Longhorns on that possession.
And Drake Madole, man, he has been a spark so far. The sophomore, we've seen bits and pieces of what he could do last year as a freshman. Now he's starting to put it all together as a sophomore. And the sky's the limit for what he can do. Obviously, Xander Madole, a great basketball player on the court. Same thing applies with Madole, who I think can be a little bit more versatile in these situations.
Make that 11 points with the free throw at the end. 25-10, 15-point lead. Here's number 15, Charlie Austin with the ball. He's double teamed, gets it to 3. Dvorak is wide open underneath. He catches it and puts it up, and he's fouled by Baxter. Dvorak, it seems like he's got good instincts when he catches the ball. Of course, he's got the height, but up here he looks about 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
Taller than Corsi, who's a 6'4" frame, but Dvorak with 4 points can add to that total with these 2 free throws, and he misses on the first.
What size shoe does he wear?
That looks about,
like,
that looks about 15.
I don't know.
15. He's getting up in Jacob Benson territory right there. Former big man, way back in the day. Way back in the day. Both free throws can't fall for Dvorak. That one was in and out. 25-10 the score, 15-point advantage for the Horns. First 2 matchups were relatively close. They were close in arm's way for a lot of the game, but late sparks by the Horns really put the games out of play. That's Baxter for 3, no good. Rebounds tipped around. Charlie Austin, who was running full speed, ball went right through his hands. Horns were able to capture a 12-point win on January 13th, 2026, 51-39, and then on Valentine's Day last Saturday, captured a win by 9, 42-33. The theme in those 2 games has been Colt Harris, who was tremendous in both games, scoring 15 in the first matchup and 14 in the second. It's Baxter with a 3. Got it. His second one. He had 3 in the season finale against Calera. He's got 2 in this first half, and he's got 8 points as well.
And he's been such a big help now with beyond the arc. Not only can he now score, as there's a turnover, not only can he score from the post, now he can shoot the 3 ball, which elevates Lone Grove's game, where this is a team that without Mims, without Harris, they do struggle with shooting. So having another number out there, and obviously with Drake Madole as well, having those 4 out there, it helps Lone Grove offensively.
28-10. Brewer, Harris, design play for the open 3, and he misses it. Corsi falls down on the ground, a fight for the rebound. Plainview nearly turns it over. Harris picks it back up. They got numbers if they want it. Euro step, he's blocked by Corsi. Out of bounds, whose ball? It's Lone Grove's ball. Corsi got off the ground after an attempt for the rebound. Saw a charging Colt Harris right at him. Makes a good play defensively. 1:17 left in the first half. 28-10 still your score. Backdoor Baxter. That's as easy as it can get, but he misses the layup. Rebound Boston near.
With some of those shots, too, it's too good to be true on being that open right there. I think Cooper Baxter experienced that just a little bit, but it was wide open. It was wide open right there as well.
Corsi using his size. Glass couldn't get it. It's Watterson. Tracks down the rebound, gets it to Mims, under a minute to play. Number 14 will slow it down. A series of dribble moves, switches on to Corsi. Baxter, another 3. Couldn't make it, 3 makes. Gets his own miss. Corsi diving for the ball, couldn't get it. Mims will fire a 3, line drive, no good. Another rebound by Boston Neer, and there's a foul. Good job by Neer. Standing just over the height of 6 foot. That's actually a foul on Plainview.
I guess I didn't see it.
I'm trying to see who the foul is on as well. Heckathorn checks in. Kobe Brewer is out. Cooper Baxter is out as well. Drake Madole back in the game, who's leading all scorers with 11. Ball's knocked away. Picked up by Watterson, showing off that hustle. Coursey showing his frustration.
Right now, that's one thing that emotions can play, especially for a district championship game where every game matters, every possession matters. And right now, Coursey voicing his frustrations, but that's the one thing you don't want to happen, especially here early on in these games.
So far, it just hasn't seemed like there's been many clean possessions for this team, this Plainview Indian team. Mentioned their struggling record. Doesn't match the effort that's been shown out on the court. There's certainly been effort as Watterson misses the second free throw attempt. He's got 4 points. Now 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Coursey will run a set play. Instead, he'll try to back down Watterson. Watterson denies him. The thing I'm noticing is 3 dribbling around. Coursey catches it. Now he'll drive baseline, puts it up. No foul call. Coursey might have been warranted a whistle, but he didn't get it. And that is the final seconds of the first half. It's all Lone Grove. 29-10 is the score. 19-point advantage for the Longhorns. We'll be back after these words on KICM TV.
Exceptional Community Hospital. Your Ardmore Hospital is now open. We're a full-service hospital focused on addressing the healthcare needs of the community. We offer a wide range of care, including on-site labs and radiology services. You can count on friendly and caring staff, experienced physicians, and personalized care plans during a hospital stay or emergency visit. Plus, our streamlined check-in processes keeps your wait to a minimum. Exceptional Community Hospital Ardmore, because someone as exceptional as you deserves our care.
You don't see big banks doing what 1NB does. We're a community bank. We're here to serve the community. We see where we can help people and what they're really doing in their businesses. Our dedication to making sure that our community, where we live, where we work, is successful is a primary purpose of our bank. First National Bank cares about me and my community. I love living in a small community. I'm going to choose a small bank with people that care about the same community that I care about. First National Bank is my community bank.
Bank First is deeply rooted in more than 50 communities statewide. Towns bound together tightly by loyalty. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery has been caring for the people of Southern Oklahoma for over 40 years. As board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgeons, Dr. Wallace and Dr. Sutherland have the highest level of expertise in the removal of wisdom teeth, placement of dental implants, facial injuries, corrective jaw surgery, jaw pain, and facial cosmetic surgery. By continually learning innovative techniques and utilizing the most up-to-date technology, they are able to provide world-class oral and facial surgery right here in Southern Oklahoma. To discuss your oral or facial surgical needs, call the experts at Southern Oklahoma Oral and Facial Surgery.
That's your score here in Lone Grove, Oklahoma, 29-10 in favor of the Lone Grove Longhorns. Let's reset here during the halftime break and get you some scoring updates, especially from this game. Drake Madole is the leading scorer for the Lone Grove Longhorns with 11, only player in double figures. That's a game high. Cooper Baxter with 8, Colt Harris with 4, Elijah Mims with 2, and Peyton Watterson with 4. For the Plainview Indians, 10 total points out of the first half break. Dominique Coursey leads the way with 4 points, Luke Daniels with 2, and Leighton Dvorak with 4. That are your halftime point totals here on KICM TV. Are you hungry? With a mouth-watering menu and wall-to-wall TVs, the station is your spot for pro, college, and even your local high school sports teams. 2 blocks east of the Carter County Courthouse on Mill Street, open 7 days a week. The station where every game is played on home turf. And no matter what, Lone Grove Longhorns will play their second game as they will march into regionals. They'll play that second game right here in Gary Scott Center. Right now, the way things are going, they have a great chance of getting into that winner's bracket and playing on Tuesday night.
Yeah, right now, like I said, there's some key components to this game that's been working really well for the Longhorns, especially from Drake Madole, who has been nursing an injury, but has looked electrifying so far through this first half. We talked about Colt Harris. We talked about Elijah Mims, what they could do on the court, but as a player that I didn't give enough credit to was Drake Madoe, just because of the injury, and he's looked phenomenal on offense and even on defense. The Longhorns have made it very hard for guys like Coursey to score at will. Obviously, we know what Coursey can do in a game, so I think they've done really well this far.
Yeah, we mentioned in the opening, the first time these two teams met, Coursey had 22 points, accounted for over 56% of the team total points. That has not been the story so far. As the Plainview Indians, who are losers 6 of their last 7. Long Grove enters tonight with a 6-game winning streak as well. And this is a Long Grove team that started the year, that's the wrong note. That's a girls team that they have a 7-game winning streak now. What I mean to tell you with the boys is, this is a team that started the year 13-3, and there were a lot of questions about this team still. What was the identity? How good are they? Of course, you get that with every team, in January and December and the early months of the basketball season. But since then, they kind of hit a little bump in the road. They're 3-4 since then after the 13-3 start, 3-3 in the month of February. But tonight, these games obviously mean more with playoff implications on the line and a district championship. And district championships mean a lot for a team in the state of Oklahoma. It seems like tonight they've really played well-rounded basketball and have, maybe impressed some folks that might have questioned who they were as a team and how good they were.
Yeah, and like I said, you want to play your best basketball from this point on, right? It's playoff basketball. Every game matters, especially the teams they can see on the road. Obviously, Ardmore and Paws Valley, 2 teams where it could be a struggle with, and even if you win those games next, you're going to Douglas, and most likely you're going to see the Trojans, who were in the semifinals last year, which is never a team you want to see even this early on. So for Lone Grove, this is a good point to be at. Like I said, big performances are needed, and we're getting them right here with Drake Madoe, Colt Harris, and Elijah Mims. So impressive to see, but we still got another half to play.
Well, like the girls' game win, there's definitely a second half of basketball that needs to be played, and give credit to the the Plainview Lady Indians and Grant Gash, the head coach. They came out and they answered, and after trailing by as many as 17, they were able to cut the lead back down to 8. Let's see what the Plainview Indians can do as they come out of the halftime break. But as we mentioned earlier, these games, the first 2 games, weren't necessarily blowouts. They were close all the way to the end, and then a late spark for the Long Grove Longhorns would propel them to the win. Right now, with Plainview down 19, there's certainly going to be some answers. There's going to have to be some answers to some questions out of this third quarter period.
Yep, and it's got to start with, we've been mentioning his name all the time, but he is the biggest key factor for Plainview's success, and it's with Coursey. Obviously, with Dorvac, can also be a huge, tremendous factor as well, but kind of get the offensive settled in, limit the turnovers, limit Lone Grove's possessions as well. And this Lone Grove team does turn the ball over at a rapid pace, so it's not like they can't get the ball as well. Lone Grove's going to give them opportunities, but you got to capitalize on them as well.
Absolutely. With a minute left, we're going to take a quick timeout. Neither team has gone out of the tunnel yet. Actually, Lone Grove just made their way out of the halftime break. We're going to take a break ourselves and be back in less than a minute to bring you the second half. Lone Grove Longhorns versus the Plainview Indians on KICM TV.
PayMe checking is the #1 debit card at Communication Federal. With good reason, because you earn real money rewards with your Visa debit card. With Communication Federal, you can get a fresh, shiny, new debit card at the branch same day, so you can get out there and do your thing and get rewards for doing it. Open your PayMe checking account online at comfedcu.org or at any branch in just a few minutes. PayMe checking, only from Communication Federal Credit Union.
Curbside pickup from Applebee's of Ardmore is an easy way to enjoy all of your Applebee's game day favorites. Favorites like the Fiesta Lime Chicken or made-to-order burgers. And Applebee's 2 for $25 is always a winning play. Order online or via the Applebee's app. Or better yet, have Applebee's cater your game day party. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's of Ardmore. Open till midnight Sunday through Thursday and open till 1 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays.
.0 seconds are on the clock out of the halftime break, and here come the Plainview Indians. Gotta wonder what that halftime speech was like for Dion Stevenson.
Well, if it's to get them fired up for the second half, I would assume that's probably what Dion Stevenson was telling his kids. Still got one more half to play, so like I said, Lone Grove might be up, but with this rivalry, with the implications, obviously, it could be anybody's game.
It's the Lone Grove Longhorns who will start the ball, and we begin our third quarter. Peyton Watterson had 4 points in the first half. Baxter had 8. Second leading scorer for this team. Backdoor cut denied by Threet. Mims, Watterson, right wing, guarded by Dvorak. Now back to Colt Harris. Horns looking for a good shot. Corsi, who is riding the coattail of Elijah Mims, gets called for a foul.
As much as I mentioned, these two players kind of got to get it out of Mims and Harris's hands as much as possible and rely on the others as Mims scores an easy points right there.
Mims for 2. The Horns were looking for that easy shot. Luke Daniels, who had 2 points in the first half, misses on that shot. Offensive rebound, Enriquez. He's fouled. Be interesting to see if they put this on the shot.
They do.
They will, yeah. 2 free throws for Enriquez, who this is his second trip to the free throw line, and he missed both on the first trip.
And it might be important for Enriquez here. Like I said, you got to capitalize on the points here, but also sticking him in underneath right there as he makes it. Stick him in the post area where he can get those kind of boards. I think that's where Enriquez thrives, on trying to make second chance opportunities there. We've seen that from Dvorak, and obviously we can see from Corsi here in the later stretches.
Enriquez goes 1 of 2. It's 31-11, 20-point advantage for the Longhorns. Watterson, cross court. That's the guy you want to hit, but the shot was blocked. Good job by Enriquez on the closeout. Here comes Dominique Corsi, trying to make a move on Mims. He's cut off. Lone Grove thought they were going to double Corsi in the corner right there. Instead, it's out to Daniels. It's top of the key. Now Enriquez on the right wing, top of the key. Corsi in a post-up position. Guarded by Madole. Spin move, using his size. Puts up the shot. It's up and in.
Got to kind of get it started early, and right there, isolation play from Corsi. Mouse in the house kind of applies right there. He's seen the mismatch. Goes to work.
Corsi just his second field goal make of the night. First points of the second half, and another foul by Mims. Second time that, those kind of careless fouls. Seems like at some point you just got to get away from the guy when he gets a rebound. Of course, he also did a nice job selling the foul.
He did, and we're noticing that more and more with high school players on selling things like that. I mean, they might watch a lot of NBA. Guys like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Jalen Brunson.
Absolutely.
The guys who like their free throws. Speaking of free throws, that's Corsi. Missed the shot. And look at this. You're talking about hockey tomorrow at 7 a.m. for the USA. Here's a hockey substitution right here for the Longhorns. That looks like Hecate-Thorne Brewers Stanley. I'm not seeing the fourth Longhorn that is right there at the scores table. Corsi misses on the first free throw.
I'm glad you brought that up because, everyone at 7 a.m. tomorrow is going to be up on their TVs watching the Americans and the Canadians play for gold. That's going to be an awesome game. We got a really good one with the girls. Obviously, that went into overtime with America winning, but now we get the men's. It's going to be a classic. I know you're going to watch it.
I'm guessing the way you're talking, you're going to be up at 7 a.m. watching this thing.
I might. Hey.
Corsi missed both free throws, and it got knocked out of bounds last touch by the Longhorns.
I might be up all night. Who knows?
Well, with the basketball that we had today in the college ranks and, of course, in high school, not only tonight but last night, it's getting about that time where it's starting to get a little serious. Of course, in the NBA, you get the playoffs. You got about 25 games left.
Yeah, March Madness.
For most teams, yeah, March Madness. Daniels a floater. That's a nice-looking shot. On the fly, too. 4 points for Daniels.
Daniels right now, with Corsi out, he's kind of have to be that offensive factor as turnover right there. But
here's your concern right here. What does this bench unit look like? You have 0 starters out on the floor.
It's pretty limited for the Longhorns, and obviously I think you got to look at guys to make some things happen. So if you can give them a break here and rely heavily, maybe on Culberson. Culberson has played really good, number one, in times like this.
Daniels pass intercepted underneath, stolen by Brewer. Ahead to the aforementioned T.J. Culberson.
I mean, Brewer might be the go-to right here for offensive weapon.
Cash Dobbins, 5'7" freshman, number 15. Keller Stanley, his fellow football teammate Brandon Heckathorn. Brewer dissecting the lane and missed the shot. Rebound Jaden Smith. Here comes Daniels. Pull up 3. You got it. Nice looking stroke from Luke Daniels. 7 points. Out of bounds. That's Plainview basketball. Here we go. And look at this. You got Corsi who's checking in. And how about 5 in, 5 out?
All starters as well.
You said it, partner. 5 starters. Madole, Watterson, Harris, Mims, Baxter.
Like I said, you got to kind of give them a little break here in some of these games. But now Plainview's kind of getting a little hot with Daniels and obviously Corsi kind of finding some strides here offensively. Gonna have to find something here for the Indians.
31-18. Daniels is the leading scorer for the Indians. He drives baseline. It looks like he might have stepped out of bounds. Official missed it, gets it to Corsi. Corsi cross-court pass back to Daniels. Well read by Drake Madole. Like a defensive back and quickly ahead the other way. Missed the layup. Out of control. Not a good possession for the Horns. Especially after when you look up, you realize that the Indians have outscored the Horns in this third quarter 8-2. Daniels, nearly from Medill.
That was heat check.
Corsi, doubled, has to get out of the double team. Does to Smith. Cross court, Enriquez, who's not a threat to shoot the ball. Threet. Now Daniels, by Watterson. Here's your threat right here. Sizing up. All kinds of moves. Inside. Takes a bump, gets the foul.
That helps with Corsi's case a little bit to kind of give him some relief, maybe even give him some opportunities if they look more towards Daniels on scoring as well. He's sideline out play right here, but right now the 2 effective scorers is Corsi and Daniels.
Baxter checks out. Another thing to note, that's 14 fouls on Lone Grove, 1 more, and the Indians will have free throws for the rest of the period. Still have 3 minutes and 10 seconds left.
It's going to be something you got to watch.
Harris, who's been quiet, only 4 points tonight. Mims. Mims with 4. Pull up Jay is partially blocked, and that's a foul, and that's free throws. That is free throws.
Yeah, wow.
It should be, or is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that was on Plainview.
Yeah, it's on Plainview.
They called it on the shot on Mims.
I thought Plainview would get away with that a little bit, but I think Mims kind of sold that a little bit to get himself on the charity strike. And like I mentioned, a lot of these kids, they're kind of taking over your favorite superstars. Jalen Brunson, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Andy Dunham. You used to do that back in the day as well.
Art of the free throw, I still do. For intramurals, you're always looking for free throws.
Hey.
You know, I'm always looking for a time where the game just stops because I'm gassed.
Man.
Right?
How the times have changed, you know. It was not that long ago. We used to be moving like these kids, and now look, old, decrepit.
5 points for Mims, 32-18. Plainview suddenly gone cold after a couple of quick buckets from Luke Daniels. He's racing to the corner. I think Plainview's got to move it to the other side, but instead it's Coursey inside for 2. Yeah. He has found his game. It is use my size, back the defender down, and try to get a good look. That's a travel by Mims. 12-point game.
And it's all about getting to your spots. And that's one of the biggest things for Coursey. He knows where he wants to go. He knows what's going to be the best shot available. And right there in that range, especially who's guarding him as well with Watterson, kind of undersized compared to Coursey, is must in the house every time. And Coursey's going to try to take size advantage over everything.
Speaking of size, there it is. Good backside help by Cooper Baxter. Watching Luke Daniels dribble the basketball, he's surely got the ball on a string right now. Looks like he's playing with confidence as well. Second leading scorer on the floor next to the man with the basketball in the corner, Dominique Coursey. Entry pass, foul. That's free throws. Peyton Watterson with the foul, and here comes Stephen Hunt with another substitution.
And one of the things about this Lone Grove team is foul trouble. Obviously, Watterson, you can see that with Baxter sometimes, Mims. These aggressive players can get themselves into foul trouble. And where we've seen the bench, this is where it's going to be huge for the Longhorns down the stretch, is if they could sustain the same energy and momentum going into this.
Enriquez with his 3rd trip to the free throw line. He's now 2 of 5, 3 of 6. 3 points for Noah Enriquez. It's a 10-point game. Strap in, folks. 1:56 left in the 3rd period. Very reminiscent to the girls' game.
Yeah.
Home team has a large lead out of the halftime break. Away team makes adjustments, and, well, now we're knocking on the door of a single-digit deficit. For the Plainview Indians, Mims inside. He's fouled by Daniels. Good look and a good set play. Looking to get an answer. Going to have a new Plainview Indian after this free throw from Elijah Mims. It's up, and it is good. Jay Loads checks into the game, number 2. Interesting, we haven't seen Luke Brooks at all for Plainview as well. He's a guy who has some size for this Plainview team. And with no Dvorak on the floor, Dominique Coursey is the tallest player for Plainview, only standing at a height of 6'4". Now he's trying to work with the basketball, guarded by a physical defender in Baxter. Puts it up and in for 2. Coursey's got double figures.
It's going to be the biggest help. There's another turnover.
Turnover and a single-digit deficit. 9-point deficit.
Lone Grove's got to play smart here. You know, you're up by this much, and in this stretch, that's one thing that they did really well in the first half, is limiting the turnovers, and now Plainview upping it a little bit on the pressure. It's forcing a lot of turnovers, and another possession for Plainview.
Coursey, 3. No good. Could have got to bounce, but didn't. Coursey then anticipates the pass. He threw it off Madole, and that's probably, that should be, maybe.
I don't know.
Depending on if his foot was on the baseline, the official says it's Lone Grove basketball. Coursey would say otherwise. Plainview crowd starting to come alive. Dion Stevenson clapping his hands. The intensity is picking up. with one side of the gym a little bit louder than the other. Plainview crowd has had a lot to cheer about in this third quarter. Culberson, too strong, long rebound. He's able to track it down. Brewer, left wing, good crossover and a layup inside, no good. Madole fighting for it. Tapped back out. Culberson, he's fouled by Corsi. It's not a smart foul. Not a smart foul by Dominique Corsi.
There's a lot of opportunities for the Indians to get a board right there. And Lone Grove finding ways. 3 times they get the ball.
Whistle and another foul. This one's on Jaden Smith. What have we seen so far in this third quarter? Lackadaisical offense says that's Cooper Baxter. Makes the first. His first points of this second half after having 8 in the first. Makes it back a double-digit lead for the Horns. And he goes 2 of 2. He's in double figures with 10. He joins Drake Madole, who also had a great first half. He's also scoreless in this game. In the second half, rather.
Yeah. And it's those 2 factors, like I said, that have now affected sort of Lone Grove in some ways on even Plainview trying to get back into this game.
Under 30 seconds to play. Now under 20. Gray Barrett trying to get free to get it to Corsi. Corsi, the point forward. Under 10 seconds, he's got to make a move at the basket. 7 seconds, almost near half court. Takes a ball screen from Barrett. Steps up, fires a 3 over Heckathorn. In and out. Rebound Madole, that's the end of the third quarter. Well, in a half where the Plainview Indians outscore the Lone Grove Longhorns 14-6. Horns still lead by 11 with a district championship on the line. The last 8 minutes of this doubleheader is coming up after these words.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
(35-24) is your score. Looking at head coach Stephen Hunt in his first year at Lone Grove. When you ask Lone Grove Athletic Director Sam Hale, who joined us a little bit in the second quarter of the girls' game and also in the Exceptional Community Hospital pregame show, he felt fortunate to hire Hunt. So he brought experience. Of course, Stephen Hunt learning under a few notable high school head coaches in the state of Oklahoma. One named Kenny Bear.
Yep, that does ring a bell, around, especially around this area.
Came over from Davis as he was the head coach of Davis softball and also served as an assistant on the boys basketball team. Under 7.5 to play, Corsi, who had it going in that third quarter, had 6 points. Can add on to his total of 10 at the free throw line. 7:32 left. Hunt also had other coaching stops at Empire and, of course, Velma Alma. And this 2026 senior class for the Horns. So you're talking about guys like Cooper Baxter, Colt Harris, Elijah Mims. Really, if you think about it, they endured 3 different head coaches during their 4-year tenure here.
A lot of coaches, but I think they found their guy.
35-25 is the score. Go ahead.
Coach Hunt's done really well with this team, especially this season where, like I said, they got a lot of youth on the team. Look at how much bench they got. They're only going to get better from here.
Believe it or not, they're still looking for their first bench points of the night. Yeah, that's right. All 35 points for the Horns have come from the starting 5. It's crazy to think, considering it's been a 10-man rotation tonight for Coach Hunt. Madole, who has 11. It's the benefit of the call right there. He's able to slash with the left hand, take a bump, put up the shot, and get a foul.
Yeah, that is kind of a crazy stat. I mean, you have 10 kind of rotation, and 5 of those other guys that get rotated in the game, they haven't scored yet. So obviously you don't want that trend to continue, especially going into the playoffs. You need some scoring, obviously, from your bench, but hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it yet.
13 points for Madole. That's a game high. 3 players in double figures on both teams. It's Coursey with 10. Coursey with 11, check that. That's off the glass. That's Loads who checks into the game. That's a 3-pointer to cut the lead to 9. Jay Loads with a 3, a turnover. Coursey trying to draw the foul, and he does.
Yeah.
Free throws.
That's on Mims again, and Mims, he's been on foul trouble. He might get checked out of the game here.
You got to think he may get checked out for an extended period of time. He has had the absolute privilege of trying to defend Dominique Coursey tonight, but that's the one thing. Coursey has struggled at the free throw line tonight. Here's the second try to cut the lead to 8. He does. 37-29, Coursey with a dozen. Surprised Plainview's not showing. Now here comes the pressure. Decide they're not really pressing any more than they already are. That's a turnover. Coursey in the open break. He's got a layup. 6-point ball game. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. The 5-mile feud is getting tight. 6-point game, 6 minutes left. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
If you wanted a basketball game, you got it. Reminder that Lone Grove had a 19-point lead heading into the halftime break. 37-31. It's a continuous 21-8 run. Steal. Coursey. Is he going to go 1 on 5? Yes, missed the shot, and the Indians come up empty. Lone Grove crowd wanted a foul.
You got to be cautious if you're Lone Grove. Every possession matters, especially when the Indians are trying to turn it up here a little bit with the turnovers. Got to be smart possessions for the Longhorns.
Harris with 4 points. After averaging 14.5 points in the first 2 contests, Heckathorn was not looking at the ball. Madole went to pass it to him and set an away screen. Culberson, guarded by the much taller Corsi. Brewer. I don't think Corsi was trying to foul there.
And this is where guys like Drake Madole, Colt Harris, they kind of have to take charge here just a little bit. Obviously, there's 3 bench players on the court, but guys like Colt Harris, like I said, Drake Madole, they gotta take control here just a little bit offensively.
Gray Barrett and Loads are out for the Indians. It's Enriquez, Daniels, Corsi, Breet, and Smith. The 5, Madole. Strong finish through contact. Corsi the other way, a spin move, he traveled. Officials saw it right there. Just that little move, that little step before doing the spin move. You know, Dominique Corsi likes the spin move. Got called for a crucial travel, and just like that, it's an 8-point game. 4.5 to play. $15 points for Drake Madole with a cross-court pass to Elijah Mims. Mims is gonna have to be careful here. He has 4 fouls. Madole guarded by Corsi. Actually, Corsi hit it back, knocked it out of bounds, but it found its way into Mims' hands. Mims backdoor Harris. 14-10 connection.
And smart shots like that Lone Grove's got to take. Try to waste as much time as possible while making good shots as well.
Corsi trying to find the contact. That's a great play as he got it knocked out of bounds, chasing the offensive rebound. And he actually hits it into the hands of Colt Harris, who was laying on his back on the baseline.
This might be a play where Corsi can get Mims in trouble here just a little bit if he guards up.
3:43 entry pass to Jaden Smith. Got knocked away, entry pass. Noah Enriquez missed it, puts it back up, blocked by Watterson. Horns want to slow it down. Hopefully, or at least find a good shot. Peyton Watterson with an emphatic rejection. Daniels picks up Mims near half court. Now it's Madole with 15 points. Baxter with 13. Baxter taking contact. That's Plainview basketball. Nearly threw it away, and Stephen Hunt is about to blow his mind.
And I was about to say, you know, I think Plainview's got to turn it up again here, but turnover right there, exactly what they wanted, and now they got another chance to do something big here. Daniels and Corsi, got to watch out for those two.
Corsi in a double coverage, rips through, gets the shot. A timeout by Dion Stevenson. 16 points for Dominique Corsi. 2:47 left, 41-33. We'll take a quick break and be back here on KICM TV.
Exceptional Community Hospital. Your Ardmore Hospital is now open. We're a full-service hospital focused on addressing the healthcare needs of the community. We offer a wide range of care, including on-site labs and radiology services. You can count on friendly and caring staff, experienced physicians, and personalized care plans during a hospital stay or emergency visit. Plus, our streamlined check-in processes keeps your wait to a minimum. Exceptional Community Hospital Ardmore, because someone as exceptional as you deserves our care.
We are Kerr Pumps. Kerr Pumps has some of the best talent in the entire pump industry. Our goal is to hire the brightest people and give them the biggest challenges to produce the best work of their lives. The individuals work collectively to manufacture high-quality pumps at unbelievable lead times. Located right here in the heart of Sulphur, Oklahoma, at Kerr Pumps, we make it happen. We build pumps, pump testing, pump overhauls. We sell service, unmatched support, and advanced diagnostics. We do build pumps, but we also sell service. Here at Kerr Pumps, we're looking for you. A team of professionals dedicated to being the leaders in the industry. If you'd like to apply in person, we are located at 2214 West 14th Street in Sulphur or online at kerrpumps.com.
We're back to action here in Lone Grove, Oklahoma. Quick inbound pass. Jalen Smith, the steal, the two, no good. Daniels, the trailer, missed it. Coursey can't get it. 2 cracks at a layup. Try to cut the lead back to 6. Plainview can't convert, but they get the offensive rebound. Daniels, no. Couldn't get the whistle. Smith, no. No whistle. Plainview crowd erupts. Can't make a layup. A lid on the basket. It's off of Plainview. I might have counted 7 layup attempts that were missed at the rim.
Some might have been fouls right there, but Lone Grove's getting away with it. So another chance for Longhorns to extend the lead.
An ongoing 23 to now 12 run for Plainview after trailing by as many as 19.
Plainview, you got to start pressuring up just a little bit. Not giving any of these guys a space.
8-point game.
Got to start doing it. Got to start doing it now.
No shot clock in Oklahoma high school basketball, so this is allowed. If you can execute this well, you got to think maybe Lone Grove is in a Kansas offense right now where you're really only taking bumps. There's a minute and a half to play.
Bumps or getting into the charity strike right now is the only thing that should be in Lone Grove's mind.
Watterson baseline, Harris out, Mims, he's all alone.
Yeah.
Minute 15.
Now you got to start fouling.
Of course he does foul. That's probably not the right guy to foul, though.
No, it wasn't. But, like I said, too much time right there for Plainview to get lost. They're going to have to do it again. It can't be Coursey.
Coursey, the leading scorer with 16. That's a shot you take right there. Baxter makes it. 12 points for Cooper Baxter. A minute to play. Plainview's got to run quickly. Daniels picks it up. He's in trouble. Hounded by Drake Madole. Enriquez, they kind of need a 3. Said they feed inside to Coursey. Takes a bump on Harris, misses the shot. Rebound Watterson, 48 seconds to play. You got to foul again, and Smith does. Jaden Smith fouls Peyton Watterson. Still have a couple of fouls to give. They have 1 more to give before free throws. 14 fouls for Plainview, 2 for the Lone Grove Longhorns. 10-point game, 43-33. 46 seconds left. Dominique Coursey will check out.
And expect him back in the game as soon as this ends, right back on offense.
Gray Barrett hounding Peyton Watterson. I thought that was the foul to give for free throws. It wasn't. It looked like the ball was just knocked out of bounds. Mims with the basketball. Now Drake Madole, he's fouled. Jaden Smith fouls the leading scorer tonight for the Lone Grove Longhorns in the most unlikeliest ways. Drake Madole came out firing in the first quarter, had 8 first quarter points. That'll be 2 shots. Looking to get the lead to 11 or 12. But Drake Madole, wearing the number 2 jersey. First one is up and good. Dominique Coursey checks back into the game for Plainview. He gets Gray Barrett.
If I'm Lone Grove, no fouling. Box on every rebound. And the biggest thing is make your free throws.
Madole goes 1 of 2. Still has 16 points. Matches a game high with the man with the basketball right now, Dominique Corsi. Picked. Madole with room service. Oh, and Mims, actually, that shot's not going to count. That should be offensive. That should be interference. Mims, that at the very least should be offensive interference.
Yeah.
You cannot jump up and grab the rim when the ball is in the act of going into the cylinder. It's probably not a technical foul, but 44-33 is the score. They actually counted that bucket by Madole. I seriously doubt if they count this. Cade McCurtain getting a nice view of the three officials that are calling this game tonight. The basket counts. The basket counts.
All these
Aiden, thoughts?
I mean, I've done the exact same thing when I played. I did that at the Wynnewood tournament, and they didn't call it a technical. So,
did they count the basket?
But they did count the basket. So
they counted the basket. Okay.
I
would think in some world
there it is. I mean, I think so. And I understand from these Plainview, I believe it is.
46-33, onwards and upwards, I guess. 18 seconds left. Look, whether they count the basket or not, it doesn't matter. This game is well beyond the reach of the Plainview Indians, down by 13 points with 13 seconds left.
I think it was.
Unless we get Tracy McGrady out here.
Hey,
you need 13 points in 33 seconds, actually.
That might be the only guy that could do that.
Drake Madole checks out with 18 points. Enriquez inbounds underneath. Corsi with a heave, misses it. Baxter a rebound, has to throw it ahead. Mims will, and Corsi actually knocks it out of the hands of Mims, and we'll have 2 free throws before the conclusion of these last 2.6 seconds. A little bit of a controversial ending towards the end. I mean,
yeah, which I understand.
Give credit to Plainview for fighting back, cutting the lead down to as many as 6 points after trailing by 19 at the halftime break. Elijah Mims can put the cherry on top of this district championship win for the Lone Grove Longhorns, who will get their 3rd consecutive district championship. You got to go back to 2024 when they won at Tishomingo, which we were all on site for that game as well, I might add.
We were.
Mims misses the first.
Well, the good thing with Plainview is that they have another game. So it hurts losing this one, especially to your rivals in the district championship, but you still have another game to play.
That's the final. 47-33. And for the 3rd time this season, the Lone Grove Longhorns will sweep the Plainview Indians in a doubleheader setting. 47-33 is your final. And a great effort shown by Plainview, a really good game. It was competitive really all the way down to the last minute 30. But it's the depth, it's the scoring, it's the offensive firepower, if you will, of the Lone Grove Longhorns, led by none other than Drake Madole, who finishes with 18 points. And for the 2nd time tonight, the Lone Grove Longhorns will get the district plaque courtesy of Sam Hale, the athletic director. We'll take a quick break and get final thoughts. Back inside Gary Scott Center. Once again, your final score, 47-33. Lone Grove boys captured district gold once again.
Exceptional Community Hospital. Your Ardmore Hospital is now open. We're a full-service hospital focused on addressing the healthcare needs of the community. We offer a wide range of care, including on-site labs and radiology services. You can count on friendly and caring staff, experienced physicians, and personalized care plans during a hospital stay or emergency visit. Plus, our streamlined check-in processes keeps your wait to a minimum. Exceptional Community Hospital Ardmore, because someone as exceptional as you deserves our care.